love for all of Big Booty Land, but there is still something I've wanted to get off my chest. When the time comes, the sun will rise. But the question is, will you?
So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost.
'Cause day and night, the lonely stoner seems to free his mind at night. He's all alone through the day and night. The lonely loner seems to free his mind at night. At night.
So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got a real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Get your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. Alright.
Let's have some fun, this beat is sick. I wanna take a ride on your disco stick. Let's have some fun, this beat is sick. I wanna take a ride on your disco stick. Let's play a love game, play a love game. Do you want love or you want fame? Are you in the game? Down the love game.
I get knocked out, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked out, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked out, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked out, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down.
Let's have some fun, this beat is sick. I wanna take a ride on your disco stick. Don't think too much, just bust that kick. I wanna take a ride on your disco
I
stick.
get knocked out, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked out, but I get up again.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Patrick.
I wanna get numb and forget where I'm from. Just looking in your eyes, like looking at the sun. I feel like you're the moon, I feel like I'm the one. I wanna get numb, I wanna get numb.
I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Far away, ricochet. You take your aim. Far away.
I don't wanna know if you're playing me, keeping on the low. 'Cause my heart can't take it anymore. And if you're creeping, please don't let it show. Oh baby, I don't wanna know.
Shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. Shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am
Damn right, he been sober. I'm a smoker. I don't want drink. I take no more marijuana. Who can be sober? But I'm a when we roll up, just be honest. Damn right, he been sober.
I need something you prove, something stronger than I'm used to. Yeah, I've been pulling 92 hard and feel like nothing's gonna cut it. That's the hard truth. When I told her, I said, yeah, yeah. Should've got time, said come again. Hey, yeah, yeah. I got so caught up, I got you told me. Yeah, yeah. Hurry my girls, you the best of all. Hey, yeah, yeah. Next thing I do, yeah, I need something you prove. Oh, I need something you
I see no changes. Wake up in the morning and I ask myself, it's like worth living, should I blast myself? I'm tired of being poor, need to work some black. My stomach hurts, so I'm looking for a birth to snatch. Cops give a damn about a Negro. Pull a trigger, kill a nigga, he's a hero. Get it back to the kids, to the hell kids. One less of your mouth on the welfare.
I'm damned if I do give a damn what people say. No deal, nothing I need, this shit they want from me. I just wanna say, I'm loving
What you know about us? I got what you need. Welcome to the story, get what you want. You get what you please. We about to get it on. Take off the drawers. It's just you and me. You know what I be doing. I'm about to go wrong. Cause I like what I see.
California knows how to party. California knows how to party. In the city of LA. In the city of gold lights. In the city of Compton. We keep it rockin'. We keep it rockin'.
I feel bonita.
Push me and then just touch me till I can get my satisfaction.
Push me and then just touch me till I can get my satisfaction.
But baby, you hardly even know when I try to show you. Song is meant to keep you doing what you're supposed to. Waking up too early, maybe we could sleep. Make you banana pancakes, pretend like it's the weekend now.
That girl is a real crowd, please. Small world, all her friends know of me. Young bull living like an old keys. Quick release the cash, watch it fall slowly.
Waking up too early, maybe we could sleep. Make you banana pancakes, pretend like it's the weekend now.
Smoke in the air, binge drink.
Look.
Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish, and motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish, and motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. So what do you say to somebody you hate, or anyone trying to bring trouble your way? One of his old things gonna bloody your way. Just study your tape of NWA. One day I was walking by with a Walkman on when I caught a guy, give me an awkward eye. Strangled him off in the parking lot with his cork and eye.
You stay on my mind, think about you all the time. Got to get to know you well. If you kiss, then I will tell. You stay on my mind, think about you all the time. Got to get to know you well. If you kiss, then I will tell.
I took the walk to Poland. I took the walk to Poland.
College educated, she graduated. Any bill she can't front, her parents paid it. The show was far, you the only one with a car out your girlfriends. But being that she's a big fan, of course she made it. Most girls wanna hide the fact of the thrill they chasing, but you just wanna get drunk tonight and fuck someone famous. So I just name a time and a place, and you're game for it. Value player, hotel room, meet you there.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. So darling, darling,
baby girl, you know what I want. Let me do it to you, Let me do you like baby girl, you know what I want. Let me do it to you, Let me do you like
So darling. Stand by me, oh, stand
award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Can I be honest? I still want your hands up on. Baby, if you want me, you've got to show me love. Words are so easy to say. You've got to show me love. Can I be honest? I still want your hands up on my body. You still make my heart beat fast. Ferrari with me in the wave, but in the morning I need you to hold on. Baby, please not so far away. Although I should be the one to say we all make mistakes. Take me and hold on. Tell me that you need to say. 'Cause I know
I can buy myself flowers, write my name in sand, talk to myself for hours, say things you don't understand.
when I get older, I will be stronger. They'll call me freedom, just like a waving flag. And then it goes back, and then it goes back, and then it goes back. Oh,
I can take myself dancing, and I can hold my own head. Yeah, I can love me better than you can.
Y'all already know who I am. My name's Topher.
Cause I'm a monster.
I know you're tired of loving with nobody to love. Nobody. Just grab somebody, go live in this party with nobody to love. Nobody.
And I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hill where the landslide brought down. Well, I've been afraid of changing 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes older, children get older, and I'm getting older too.
And somebody said to me, nigga, why you babysitting? Only 2 or 3 shots. I'ma show you how to turn it up a notch. First you get a swimming pool full of liquor, then you dive in it. Pool full of liquor, then you dive in it. I wave a few bottles, then I watch them all fly. All the girls wanna play, man, watch. I got a swimming pool full of liquor and they dive in it. Pool full of liquor, I'ma dive in it.
Love her mom, but it's the season of the sticks. And I saw your mom, she forgot that I existed. And it's half my fault, but I just like to play the victim. I'll drink alcohol till my friends come home for Christmas. Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time. And we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just
I tell everyone how I made this money, that it's going to affect me in any sort of way.
AMD, if we get a quick little pop above $12, I'm thinking about maybe a quick little short over on AMD. Finger on the trigger to lock in profits when it starts moving back on up. Here we go. Nice job. Let's take it. $979 in profit. Look at this spike, baby. Taking some gains right off the top right here. 124,000.
You just gotta know what you're doing.
200.
Every single person can be successul.
Dollars in profit.
There's no reason for you not to become a full-time
Now we're
trader.
currently up $2,100. Let's just keep it going even more. I want every single person. Now we're up $2,500. Now we're going up to $117.40.
It's not like it's a competition. It's if I tell you how I was able to do this, go out, make that money, make a killer, and let's all absolutely crush it together.
Let's go, baby. Let's see this thing keep unfolding even farther here. We're up $1,100 within the first 5 minutes of the day. I'm feeling absolutely fantastic. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Drizzled in, everyone. Drizzle in. Everyone gather up, gather around. Let's get ready to go on this day. We got a big one ahead. We got to be talking about what we have, what we're seeing, what we're feeling. What are we feeling today, traders? That is obviously the big question. S&P 500. Got to go over it all. Got to break it all down. Got to make sure every single trader is feeling fantastic on this day. Whew. All right, team. We got a lot here. I know I'm excited. I know I'm energetic right now. I know I'm pretty electric at this moment. You guys saying, Deck, how? How are you this fired on up? Because we're about to take on the stock market. The stock market that makes billions of dollars. Traders, there's a yacht in the stock market with your name on it. There's a Ferrari with your name on it. Let's go get that boat, baby. Let's go get that boat. Traders, it's game time. We got to talk about it all. We got to make sure every single trader is electric and ready to rock and roll and be diving in on this day. All right, Claire, cut the music. No, the other way. Cut the music the other way. Turn it down. Okay, thank you. So, let's talk about it all. Let's dive in on this. And let's make sure every single trader is ready. Little side note, everyone over watching on TikTok real quick, I had to adjust something on the mic. Can you guys give me a thumbs up or let me know that you guys can hear me over on TikTok? I know I sound like I've been smoking cigarettes for the last 45 years of my life. I'm just coming off a little bit of an illness, but I promise I don't smoke Camel Lights or any of that stuff. So traders, I just want to make sure that we're all good. All right. So here we go, team. Let's talk about today. And bear with me with my voice. I'll do my best. All right. So here we go, team. Let's head on over to our boom. Let's head on over to our morning newsletter and let's talk about this. Getting every single trader all set, ready to go from start to finish so you know exactly when to trade. We got a little Pedialyte today. Sore than the throat. Making it nice and smooth down there. All right, so what do we got today, team? Let's get rid of all the profits we made. All right, all through that. What we have here is we have key point number 1. Breaking hearts. The Dow Jones Industrial Average had its biggest drop since March of 2023 on Tuesday, shedding more than 500 points. At its worst point in the trading session, the Dow lost more than 700 points, or nearly 2%. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ Composite didn't fare much better, dropping 1.37 and 1.8%. This all happened as we are now seeing raising doubts that the Federal Reserve will be able to cut rates several times this year. So, if anyone is saying, Deck, what is going on in the market? Yesterday, the S&P 500 fell almost 700, or excuse me, not the S&P 500, the Dow fell almost 700 points. The S&P 500 fell about 1.37%. And this all happened after we had very bad CPI data. Now, what's CPI data? CPI data is going to be Consumer Price Index. That is going to be telling us where inflation currently stands. Now, as you guys all know, we have been wanting to get rid of inflation, bring down inflation the best we can, which is why we've been raising rates so much, especially throughout 2022 and in 2023. Now everyone's waiting for us to cut rates, but the data showed that inflation is still hot. So we crashed yesterday in the market because now investors are saying, oh man, we are not going to actually get any sort of rate cuts anytime soon. But what's so crazy about this market? What is so wild about this market? The market today bounced right back on up. We were all the way down to 490. We jumped right back up to 496. Traders, it seems like no matter what the market throws at us, there's always dip buyers ready to pop it right back on up. Jerome Powell could say, hey guys, we have inflation at record highs. And people say, don't worry, we'll take care of it. Market goes higher. Jerome Powell could walk on out and say, hey guys, I think we're going to fall into a recession. He's joking. Record higher. We love his sense of humor. It just seems like no matter what, this market has been going higher and higher and higher. No matter what the news is, no matter what we throw at it, the market just keeps going higher. And that is awesome in one sense, and it's also a little scary in another sense on why are we continuously going higher and higher and higher. So let's take a look here, team, at my game plan. My game plan that we have for all of us here is let me again bring it on up over. I'm just going to bring it up over on my Twitter here. And what we have over on my game plan, so everyone can see this, is that I said, let's be honest. This market is hot. And we saw new record highs last week. Then we saw a $9 drop yesterday after bad CPI. But now today, we bounced all the way right back on up. Can anyone truly predict what this market will do? I think yes, to a certain degree. As of now, when I take a look at the daily chart, I see a solid uptrend channel. This is what I would be playing if I were you. Look to bounce off the bottom, look to do shorts at the high. I love shorting, but that does not mean I'm going to bet against the market just because that's what I like to do. I am going to wait for certain opportunities. I'm going to wait for certain setups. So if we take a look over on this chart right here, what can we all see? What can we all notice? What can we all realize? We can all see right here that the S&P 500 does have this very nice channel setup. Let's make this very big. You can see bounce play here, top resistance. Bounce play here, top resistance. Bounce play here, top resistance. We are still inside this channel. And without ever breaking out of this channel from one side to another, we're most likely just going to continue on with it. So what's the bottom support line? Bottom support line is 493. What's top resistance? Top resistance is 503. So that's what we got to be watching. Come on. It's a little timeout. It's hard for me right now because I want to go ballistic. I want to go crazy. Guys, I'm feeling 100%. But as you can see, it's like I want to yell and scream, but my little vocal box is just dying out over there. If anyone says, Deck, do you always sound like this? I'm gonna tell you right now. I do not always sound like this. Usually, I sound like a mixture of John Mayer and Bruce Springsteen. That's what I usually sound like. I usually sound like, John Mayer-ish with a little Chris Stapleton. That's what I usually sound like. Some people say, maybe throwing a little Justin Timberlake in there. That's fine. This is not my normal voice, okay? I'm going to work with it today. I'm going to do my best today. I'm overcoming a little bit of an illness. But usually, if you guys want to close your eyes and maybe just put on the Continuum album, maybe again, the Live in LA John Mayer concert, that's what I usually sound like. Okay? So just work with me here. Right now, team, 921 in the market. So how much higher is this market going to go? This market is going to go as long as we hold inside this channel. Now, what is really fueling this market? Well, the answer has been the AI hype. That AI hype, that AI excitement, that AI activity, that is what has been fueling this market here. So when we take a look over on the SPY here, we need to know that NVDA has been the leader. And guess what? NVDA is at record highs right now, or right next to record highs. NVDA on a good green day today, we could see this all the way up to 800. And I know that not as many people know this, but there is a better stock than NVDA in the AI world. And that is what? SMCI. SMCI traders is just stupid at this point. It is getting insane. We have now gone, I'm going to go from 2024. In 2024, we have now gone from 275 to 818. We are now up about $580 in the last 2 months. Not even 2 months. We are seeing right here that we are up nearly $518. How insane is that? How wild is that? To see SMCI go on this move, to see SMCI go on this climb, to see SMCI go on this massive rip right here. This is a play that every single trader is obviously aware of. I have told you guys this many times. I am getting ready for SMCI to be my biggest short of 2024. I am. But all you guys have to do to get the answer is go to a time frame, switch it to a 30-minute time frame, and you can see our clear-cut uptrend. Our clear-cut uptrend will give us the answer as to when we want to short this play. You guys can see right here. Here is uptrend, uptrend, uptrend. Crack the uptrend. We are now bearish. You can see right here. We do have uptrend, uptrend, uptrend. Crack the uptrend. We go bearish. You can see right here. Uptrend, uptrend, uptrend. Crack the uptrend. We go bearish. You can see uptrend, uptrend, uptrend. Crack the uptrend. We go bearish. This will be the same exact thing where we have this massive uptrend. When we go underneath the uptrend, that is when we have our tail sign of, okay, we are starting to go bearish. Yes, we would all love to nail the tippity top of SMCI. But the tippity top traders could have said, oh, it's going to be at 680. It starts dumping a little bit later. We're all the way up at 740. Oh, the tippity top is 740. We dump on down. Guess what happens? It goes up to 809. Oh, the tippity top is at 820. It could go all the way up to 900 pretty soon. So, SMCI, this play here is a beast. And yes, you can go on calls. You can buy SMCI. You're saying, Dek, this play has ripped nearly $600. Why don't I just buy it? You can, as long as the uptrend holds. As long as the uptrend holds, you will be good to go to keep on buying this play and hold this play. So it's either you hold the play on the buy side as long as the uptrend holds, or you flip that and reverse it and you do a short whenever the trend line actually cracks. Okay? Simple, easy, straightforward. Now, what else do we want to be looking at today? We know there's a few plays out there that have been relatively hot. Now, if anyone was not here yesterday, we crushed it. We made $1,300 in the market. We made a lot of money yesterday. Or actually, excuse me, we made way more than that. We made $1,600 in the market yesterday. So yesterday we made $1,658. Let's look at some of these top gainers and let's see what these plays did for us. What did BGLC do? BMR, HOLO, OMH, DBGI. So let's take a look. BGLC. What did this play do? This play went on a big spike and it dumped on off. BMR here went on a big spike and dumped on off. HOLO here, big spike and dumped on off. OMH here, big spike, dumped on off. DBGI here, DBGI, big spike, dumped on off. Okay, this is what we have at this moment. Big spike, dump on off. With that being stated here, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think we should be doing on today? What do you think we should be doing at this moment? I would probably assume the best thing for us is to look for some sort of spike and then to dump all the way back on off. That's what I think is going to most likely be happening. Some sort of spike, dump back on off. Some sort of rip and run, then again start fading back on down. So if we look at our options today, such as DTSS, I would say let's watch for a spike and then watch for a dump. ELWS, watch for a spike, watch for a dump. BREA, already getting a spike, watch for a dump. Yes, you guys know I do love looking for shorts. That is, usually my favorite play. DTSS is up 561% at this time, or 67% at this time. When I take a look over on DTSS here, I see that this play has gone from $1.50 and a shot all the way up towards $11.32. This could easily open up right around $10 and have some trouble. So are there any shares available to short on this play? And the answer is yes. I could go ahead, get shares all set, ready to go over on DTSS. So DTSS, if I want to go ahead and start getting involved in this play, I could go and say to myself, all right, let me look to grab, 2,000 shares or so, and we will be all set, ready to rock and roll. So 928 in the market. How high can DTSS get up to? I would say the best opportunity would be you could see these old upper shadows. One's up towards like 1080, one's up towards 1090, one's on up towards, you could see again, maybe right around $11. I'm actually thinking a possible short opportunity almost right at the start of the day. I'm actually thinking that, is there a possibility that this squeezes and spikes? Yes, there is, but I am watching this for that possibility, right at the start of the day for a reversal. Let's get ready to go here, team. Market opens on up here very shortly. DTSS, I'm going to start with this play. This is the one that I'm going to be looking at. Switching on over to a 2-minute time frame. Just had a little upper shadow right there. I do just want to be ready to rock and roll. Market opens up here, team, in about 30 seconds here. I'm not in on anything just yet, but I just want to put this here so you guys can see when I do get filled. I'm going to put in, guys, I'm starting to get filled right now. I'm going to start putting some entries from 1030 to 1050 to, all around this area to see if I can get a quick little pop and then get a pullback right back on down. So I'm actually going to start getting filled on a few different entries here already on some shorts and scale in on this position. And right now, team, you can actually see, whoa, little bit of a quick spike right off the rip there. I was not expecting such a quick rip. I'm in right now at 1050, and I'm actually getting a little bit of a squeeze on right here on my play. So DTSS, I got to be careful on this. I don't want to get squeezed out if I, again, take any sort of larger loss. So we actually just came off firing right here, team. I got filled, and actually right at the bell, I'm getting short squeezed right at the start here. We are live over on LULD. Now, if you guys are saying, all right, Dek, we're caught in a halt right now. I am currently shorting, and I am stuck at this moment. Let me tell you guys what I was thinking. So what I was thinking was I seen DTSS go from $1.40 and go up towards the price of around $11. Here's an upper shadow at $11. Here's an old spiking high at around $11. Here's an old spiking high at $11. Here's a bounce play right at $11. So I was thinking an entry right around $11 would be the best possible. Now, the last thing I can afford is this play to go out of hand. This play to get out of hand on me and start going crazy. I liked my entry, but as you guys can see, the squeeze is on at this moment. So what's the next realistic area this could potentially get up to? I would say worst case scenario, it spikes all the way up towards around $15. That could definitely happen. I think more realistically, it's going to get up towards around $13.70. So I'm in a predicament at this moment. Number one, I keep on holding and I hope that it comes on down. Number two is that this play is not doing what I want it to do. I cut my losses, I move on, I look for a better entry. I'm leaning towards number two. I know that I can make back $2,000. I don't want to get caught where all of a sudden we gap up to 13, 15, 16, and I'm down 6, 7 grand. That's what I don't want to get involved in. So what would be best case scenario? Best case scenario is we have a small gap down and we end up crashing. That would be the best case scenario. But if this gaps up and this holds its gains and this is moving up in a fast manner, unfortunately, I have to get out. I have to move on. And again, make back your loss, but keep them as tight as possible. The last thing you ever want to do is have one trade blow up your account. So I'm going to let traders know this right now. I will tell you right now, it is very difficult to blow up an account. You might say, what? No, it's not, Dek. It's easy to blow up an account. It's easy to blow up an account if you have no discipline. Do you know what's very easy to do? Is when you are in the red, get out and move on. Get out and move on. Most traders, team, don't take massive losses. This is what happens. This is why most people blow up an account. You guys ready for this? They again have this. This will be, let's say let's just say this is like their equilibrium right here. This is like their zero P&L. Most traders will do this. They win small. They win small. Then they lose a good one. Then they win small. Then they lose a good one. Then they win small, win small, win small, win small, win small. Then guess what happens? Then they lose a good one. Then again, they might lose another good one. Then again, they win small, win small, win small, win small. And they see that their account is slowly deteriorating. And then there's one trade that they just don't let go of. And it falls and falls and falls. And then guess what happens? They lose it all. The number one issue with, again, new stock traders is when they win, they take profits so quickly because they're scared of losing. And when they lose, they hold so much longer than when they're in the green. It's like, okay, when I'm losing, I hold and hold and hold and hold and hold, and I lose 5 grand. But when I'm winning, I'm up $100 and I take it. We need to reverse that. When you are in the green, you hold longer to make that money. When you're in the red, you get out as quickly as possible so you minimize your losses. So the thing is, we don't want to get to the point where we get into one play and we just keep holding it, holding it, holding it until we lose everything. That's the worst thing you can do. So as a mentor here, I'm excited that this trade happened. Now, why am I excited that this trade happened? Because I get to be able to talk to you guys through it. Because this is the point of being on the live stream, to show you guys how to win. And also when something gets squeezed against me, which happens in the stock market, just like Tom Brady's going to throw a pick or someone's going to fumble, right? You know, that happens, but we manage it. We learn how to be able to control it. So that's what's so great about this. So let's be able to figure out what's going to happen here. NASDAQtrader.com/tradingholtz. We can take a look over on DTSS. This is actually going to be opening up here, team, in 10 seconds. If this play gaps up, I'm 100% out. If this play gaps down, I will keep on holding it because we can go in the green. So everyone watch this in the matter of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. DTSS. Gap down. We're in the green. Let's take our profits. All right, I got out with a small loss. Not bad. Guys, I could have been in the green right here if I kept on holding, actually. Look at this. Guess what I did? I jumped in on a play that I thought had good opportunity. I saw that again. It came back on down and it gapped down for me. Let me start fresh. I was just down 2,000 bucks. I ended up losing 300 bucks. Can I make back 300 bucks? Yes, I can. These are things you must understand as a stock trader, that you can be able to manage, be a manager in your stock trading portfolios. You do not need to take excessive losses. You can manage losses that are going to be able to put ourselves back into the green. Right now, I average $1,100 per day. Will I make back this 361? Obviously, yes. Right? So this is what I want you guys to, of course, always be realizing. So now we went after it, gave ourselves a little bit of a chance, and let's see what comes up here next. DTSS. What I would say still, it does have the opportunity to still hit this like 1130 mark and start coming back on down, but I don't want to chase it. I don't want to get squeezed. I know this one's a very active mover. So again, let's stay smart here. Let's just watch. So I do want to see what we get at this time. I do want to see what's coming on up here. Looking for this next possible move. Looking for this next possible rip. So right now, traders still watching DTSS. DTSS still looking for this potential squeeze. It really is DTSS. You know, we got this big long upper shadow, has a lot of potential, got up to 1272. It does look like this is going to fade and fall. I just don't want to force it, at this moment. Don't want to put myself in any bad position. Right now, the SPY had a quick little spike, then came on down. What's SMCI doing? Guys, SMCI is still going on up. Is anyone in on SMCI? SMCI might go up to 875 today. 875 would be my target if I was you and looking for SMCI. I would look for about another about $40. 875 is going to be an amazing entry for a potential short, but the smartest short would be all the way on the crack of the trend line, when that trend line eventually does crack. DTSS, still trying to push here a little bit, team. DTSS, still trying to push, trying to get myself back into the green, as you guys know. And we still have DTSS on this uptrend. This is the DTSS uptrend here, team. Right here. That's the DTSS uptrend. It does have a little bit of a wedge trying to form. Actually, we can connect some dots right here. Watch this, team. DTSS. Little wedge forming. Little wedge. Back up near around 1170. We might see a quick little pop and then a drop back down into the wedge. Currently slightly in the red right now. Small red day so far. But I think we'll be able to battle back. If you're saying, Dek, why do you like DTS so much? Is because it's up 648%. Now, when you're up 648%, guess what can happen? You can easily fall 300%. You can easily drop 300%, which means if I can get a 300% return on investment, how amazing is that? So that's what I always like to do, and that's what I always like to realize, is that when I can get involved over on these plays here, that's going to be able to make us a ton of money and tons of cash. I love looking at plays that are up 700% because that means I can easily get a 200% pullback. So that's why I love shorting stocks that are up almost 1,000%, because guess how much money you can make on the way down. So right now, traders are still watching this. If it falls back, we're obviously breaking out of this wedge. Still going. Not shorting this right now, team. Just hit a new high. Dek, how much higher is this thing going to go up to? We are almost at that LULD. Take a look at the daily chart. Where can we spike up towards? What's reasonable? What's realistic? I would probably say somewhere in the $14 if it does keep on going. If it does keep on going, I think it's going to be somewhere in the $14 region. I'm going to say like 1440, 1440, 1460. That would be like my next potential opportunity to short this. So this one is still trying to go on up over on DTSS. And let's see how much more this thing has left in the tank. The LULD right now is 1364. It's hitting new highs as we speak. Right now, DTSS, very hot play, still going. Oh, very hot play, still going. High of the day's $14. LULD's $14.11 right now. I'm going to start putting some entries up towards around like the 1470s. I'm going to start putting some entries in the 1460s. I'm going to start putting some entries up high in case we do hit those guys. So if we do start hitting those super high areas of like 1490, I am going to be filled on this play. The LULD, we just got up to 1440. The LULD's at 1449. We're still pushing here, team. We're still pushing. We're still moving. So I want to see, can we get a little push up towards around $15 and then again look for a reversal. So push up towards around $15, get a reversal, maybe a quick little $15 pop, and then again go from there. And are we about to get halted? Let's see, we're actually about to get halted here. 1449, we're not halted yet. Nope, guys, we're still not halted. LULD just jumped up to 1489. I have entries at 1470, 1460. I just got filled 500 shares on my first entry. Just got filled 500 shares on my first entry here, team. I'm only going to do 500 shares right now because I don't want to get squeezed up again. So I'm only going to do 500 shares and see if this falls. But I am in on 500 shares here just in case we do start getting that reversal. We do have a lot of momentum still. So a lot of momentum at this time. I will look for another round of entries above $15. Another round of entries above $15 if we ever squeezed up high to bring up my cost basis. Right now, my entry is at 1465 in case we do drop. So in case we do start falling and dropping, and I can get myself into the green. Guys, we are getting ourselves into the green right here. Guys, nice drop. Up 500. Take your gains. Take my gains up 500. Start fresh. Guys, taking my profits up 500, starting fresh. And now again, we're profitable on the day. So let me ask you guys a question here. Can I ask everyone a question? Did I make back $2,000? Yes, I did. Was I able to manage making back $2,000? Absolutely. So the thing is, traders, when you have a starting loss, the last thing that you can possibly do, and I'm telling you right now, the last thing you ever want to do when you have a loss is turn into the trader that you are smart at first and you cut your losses. And you're smart at first and you cut your losses. And you're smart at first and cut your losses. But then you jump in on one play and you just keep holding and holding and holding and holding until it's all gone. What did I do today? I was in a loss. Guess what? I cut it. Then, guess what I was able to do? I was able to battle myself back on up. And then I was able to now put myself in the green. And now I'm up $450 on the day. So you're able to battle these plays back. You don't need to say, oh, this is who I am. I'm just a losing stock trader. You can always be better at discipline. You do not need to know the most strategic plays. You do not need to know the most strategic strategies. You do not need to know the most strategic intelligence of the stock market. You do not need to be world-class in the stock market, but there's no reason why you can't have world-class discipline. There's no reason why you can't be a trader that says, hey, let me get out when I'm in the red. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. So right now, DTSS here. Great job, great work for absolutely everyone. And we did basically nail that very tippity top, which I love. Nailed that tippity top right next to that top area. Tippity top right next to that top. Tippity top next to that top. And we do have DTSS starting to fade and fall as we speak here right now. Golfer just got in some SPY calls. Nice little bounce play on some SPY calls. Nice work. Traders, let me ask you guys a question. What is tomorrow? What is tomorrow? What is Friday? What is Saturday? Who knows the answer to this? Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is our biggest sale ever. Yes, traders, you will get, if you have never been a TradeCaster member, you will get a free month of access. You will also get free month of access to TradeZella. You will also get a free month of access to FoxRunner, which is the news scanner here. You will also get 3 free months of Lightspeed, which is my broker where I get all my shorts. And you will also get free access to the Trade Ideas upcoming tournament, plus 33% off any membership you want. If you are a member on Tradecaster, you will get all of this as well. But since you're already a member, you will get 30% off any upgraded membership. So if you are on a monthly membership and you want to get a 6-month, you want to get a 12-month, you want to get a lifetime, it will all be 30% off. Now, I will tell you right now, it will not say 30% off. If you are upgrading lifetime, 6-month, 12-month membership, you can email me right now and I will give you the 30% off and I'll send you all the codes tomorrow. So just a little heads on up, you may have to email me just so that I can set it up for you, but I promise, and again, you have my word, I'm giving you 30% off as I already stated, but you guys can DM me, email me, and you guys will be all set, ready to go. But tomorrow, anyone that signs up to Tradecaster, you will get absolutely everything. Also, if you guys want to upgrade your subscription, 30% off for everyone. Yes, that includes the lifetime membership. You guys are getting about $1,500 off the lifetime membership. So make sure that you guys take advantage of it. It's going to be insane tomorrow. So that is huge. Yep. It's going to be great for absolutely everyone. And I am so fired up, team. Make sure you spread the word to your friends, to your family, so that you guys are all good. Spread the word, friends and family. I was going to do this. You guys tell me if you guys like this. If you guys get 2 other people to sign up, I'll give you guys a free month of Tradecaster access. Does that sound good? So just so heads on up, give you guys a little incentive. Get 2 other people to sign up, and I will give you an additional free 1-month access to Tradecaster if you guys are interested in that. So a little heads up, give you guys a little bit of an incentive. Get after it. DTSS just came up to $15. Now it's starting to get a little bit of a drop. DTSS, we just hit $15, team, getting a little bit of a pullback. And let's see here. I might look for an entry because $15 is a very strong resistance line. I'm thinking maybe 14. Yeah, we just hit that. I think that might be the top right there. I'm thinking like 1440s, maybe another quick little 1460. All stop losses. Do not allow this to go higher than the price of $15. If you break $15, do not hold this play. Does that make sense, everyone? If you are going to short DTSS, we are all in before $15 and stop loss at $15. A break of the high of the day is not good, okay? So just a little heads up, if anyone is interested in getting involved, we have $15 at the very tippity top, which we love, but we are not holding this if this ever breaks $15. So be careful on it. $15. Another $15 touch right there, team. Be careful. We cannot allow this to break. Oh, guys, it's still breaking. Still breaking right there. Got to have a stop loss. Get out. Stop loss, get out. I can't allow it to squeeze me. I'm not getting caught up in a squeeze. I was in on this play, had a stop loss at $15 out of this play. So I want to nail this thing, team. I want to nail this big time drop, but I have to do it the smart area, the smart price. Dek, how much higher you think we're going up to? Probably $18.75, $19. So no shorts for me until $18.75 to $19. If you guys are going on calls or buying, I think you guys are good for $2 or so. So right now, DTSS, I think it's going to spike until it gets halted. I am not shorting at this time. I'm not going against the grain. I want to wait until we get halted, maybe up towards $17, $18. No entries for myself here, team. Trying to keep my stop losses tight. But DTSS here, team, is a quick and a fast mover. This thing is quick, this thing is fast, and this thing is still trying to shoot itself on up. We are now up over 1,000%. Take a look at DTSS, everyone. We are now up over 1,000%. DTSS up over 1,000%. Can we be able to keep on going here? I want to just try to nail this pullback when it eventually comes. Deck, nail the pullback when it eventually comes. Is there any just clear-cut area? What's this mark? Here's a clear-cut top, 1720. What do you guys think about this? Can everyone see why there might be some shorting opportunities around 1720? We guys do have old spiking high here. We do have old spiking high here, old spiking high here. So it could be a little short of 1720. I mean, we got up towards what, 1665? Here comes that 1720 mark. If it breaks through that, we're going all the way up to like 1875. So we just got near that red line. It's tempting to jump in on some more shorts here, team. That 1699 mark. It's tempting because I don't want to miss the pullback. But at the same time, if it keeps on going, obviously you want the best entry. So let's see here. Guys, it's still breaking. 1728 here. Just hit 1728. Little bit of a pop. Still trying to hold its gains. Coming on up towards 1728 again. At some point, we're going to see a big red candle and a big reversal. It's still trying to hold up its gains the best it can right now, team. I know 1720 is that old spiking high area. I would love it to just break it so it doesn't even have me overthink about it. But I know 1720 is a strong resistance line. I know it could easily squeeze that, though, as this thing is up over 1,000%. Imagine how many shorters are getting crushed today. I'm down 77 bucks. So it's really, I'm just trying to nail that next big, dump, that next big reversal, that next big turnaround. Right now, it's still going on up. We still hit 1720 and now starting to get a little bit of this reversal. 1720. Have your finger on the trigger to get in if you guys need to pull the trigger. 1750, 1760. Still going. Still going here, team. We're up 1,100%. 1875 will always be strong resistance. We have seen 1875 be very strong resistance multiple times. I do like that 1870, 1880 area. People see me always jumping in around those marks. Just got filled, guys. Just got filled another 500 shares here. Just got filled another 500 shares. Going to see if that 1875 mark's going to help us. Right now, I'm in on this play with 750 shares. I'm looking for that reversal. If it keeps squeezing, I can't hold and hope. But I am in on this play right now, as you guys know. Looking to see, can we get that reversal area and get that dump? It's still trying to squeeze right now. I don't think I want to keep on holding to get caught on up. We might get a little pop up towards around 20 bucks soon. I'm currently in the red. Don't want to hold and hope on this play. Deck, cut out, move on. I'm right there, but I know we can easily dump. Right now, team, I'm right back in the green. So I'm in, what's my cost basis? 1856. I actually thought it was a little bit higher than that. Must have been caught up in a little bit of a spread. Come on, dump underneath $19 and I'm all set, ready to go. I'm watching the bids closely. We're looking for that reversal. We do have a big spread on this play. Big spread, might get one big upper shadow still. That's my biggest fear. Deck, the smartest thing to do is cut out and move on. Smartest thing to do is cut out, move on. It hurts me, but you know what? I'd rather not get caught up and get caught up in a squeeze. Wait for your entry. Don't be a person that just holds in hope. Cut out, move on. You can make back again losses so quickly. So it's right now we're up 1,200%. This thing is crazy. This thing's nuts, guys. We're up 1,200%. How much higher can this bad boy get up to? The LULD's at $21 at this point. Oh, come on. Here's a little bit of this red candle right now. And this is the crazy thing about DTSS. It goes so fast, but it also comes crashing back on down so quickly. Team, if I kept holding another 10 seconds, I would now be in the green. That's what's so crazy about this play, is that if you hold another 10 seconds, you're back in the green. Isn't that nuts? Isn't that wild about this type of movement? We have a high of the day of 2029 so far. Deck, why not go long? It's tough for me to buy a stock that's already up 1,200%. So if you're saying, why not go long on this play? You have to accept the fact that you're obviously chasing. If someone's saying, hey, Deck, is it a good buy right now to buy DTSS up 1,200%? The answer is no. Okay. So if anyone right now is saying, oh, can I buy DTSS? The answer is clearly no. It's already up 1,200%. But obviously, it is still going. Obviously, it still has momentum. But the easy answer is no. It's not a good entry. Yes, it has tons of momentum. But if you think that just buying this play is going to make you money, you could potentially be buying at the very tippity top before you're about to get crushed all the way back down to $5. So it's not easy on both sides. It's hard to go against the momentum, and it's hard to also buy after being up 1,200%, which makes it very tricky. So you guys can see kind of like the struggle behind this play a little bit on both sides, where there is, trouble buying it, and there's also trouble shorting it as well. DTSS. Do I want to short this play? Absolutely, I want to. But I know it's going to be a bumpy ride. The last thing I want to do is short this, and then it pops right back on up towards $20. But as you guys can see, here comes already a little bit of a dump. And that hurts. It's tough. It's tough when you were right, but you got out to be a smart trader, and then 10 minutes later, it worked out the way you wanted it to. Like, here comes a dump. I'm not going to chase it. I'd rather wait for a better opportunity. But remember, team, as I always state, I would rather keep losses tight and be wrong. I'd rather, again, keep losses tight and be right, as in, okay, I got out of this play, rather than being wrong and continuing to hold on to this play. That would be the worst thing we can do, is to be wrong and hold on tight. So I'd rather be right and move on. Right now, this one is still trying to hold up the best it can. We do have this momentum trying to turn here a little bit. And that's the big thing, team. Being up 1,100%. It's so wild. What else do we got here? ELWS. A little bit of reversal right now. ELWS could kind of cool things on off and kind of make your life a little bit easier. Stock did just go on a pretty nice rip and run. When you guys take a look over on ELWS, we had spike, drop, spike, easily could drop, spike, could get that nice drop. DTSS, guys, unfortunately, I'm not going to chase it because I know, and I've been there many times, I will pull the trigger on the short, and then it somehow goes back up to $19 or so. I would rather wait for it to go back up to 19 or $20, then I'll get filled. Remember, I'm down $1,000 I'm down $1,000. I am not upset with the entries I took, and I'm not upset with, again, me getting out when I'm keeping it as small as possible. The last thing I want to do is hold tight and put myself in dramatic trouble. So I'm going to give that one some time, let it bounce, let it do its thing, and then come back to it when I feel a little bit more confident. Right now, team, what else do we got here? ELWS, though. ELWS, want to take a look over on this play. ELWS here. This one is halted at this time. There are no shares available to short it. So no shares available to short over on ELWS. Nothing I can do over on this moment. It looks like there will be shares available at some point, but no shares available at this time. We have the SPY still going. SPY slow and steady. What's SMCI doing? I'm scared to look. Traders, look at SMCI. Wait, let me ask you guys, what is your price prediction on SMCI? SMCI has now gone from $270 to now $858. What is your price prediction on this play? How high will this one get up towards? I'm going to guess that this one's going to get up towards 910. Somewhere in the 900s, I think, is going to be the high. I'm going to guess that SMCI is going to say 900. What do you guys think? Is it going to be 870? Is it going to be 1200? Is it going to be 1100? SMCI so far has gone absolutely bananas. And you know when it can even go any harder? Is after the NVDA earnings next week. Next week, NVDA earnings come out. And if the NVDA earnings are good, this will go probably all the way up to nearly 2,000. If the NVDA earnings are bad, it's going to come crashing all the way back on down. I am not shorting SMCI until we crack this trend line. And let me again put on post market right here. We can all see how perfectly clear this is. I don't have a reason to short this play until we go underneath, at this point, 785. When we go underneath 785, that will be better. But I don't want to be doing it at the top, and next thing you know, it's at 950, and the next thing you know, it's at 1,000, and next thing you know, it's at 2,000, and next thing you know, I blow up my account. That is not worth it to me. So I would rather wait for a crack and get in at a much better area. DTSS team, still fighting here. Definitely getting a little bit of a pullback. DTSS looks like it's going to try to get a bounce play, though, very soon. Little heads up for any trader. You will get a possible dip buy and bounce play at the price of a 1550. So you guys can actually see, I don't want to confuse you, this trend line right here. This trend line, if you want to look for a quick little dip buy at around 1550, you can be able to get that. Also, little heads on up, ELWS just had a massive drop all the way back on down. This one looks like it's going to keep on fading, ELWS. It looks like it's going to keep on dropping. DTSS, that 1550 mark, get ready for a possible dip buy if you guys are looking for that little bounce play opportunity. So if you want to be smart, even go slightly underneath it, like $15 to $14.90. If you want to even, go as smart as you possibly can. So I'm going to go really low here in case it does happen. I'm going to go low to the 1490s, 1480s, 1470s. If I can get a possible dip buy, I will take it. So I will take a dip buy in the $14 region. Sound good, guys? Makes sense? Anywhere in the $14 region, I'm going to look for dip buys. If we do get a quick little pullback and then this thing bounces right back on up. So quick little pullback, bounce on up in the mid to low $14 is my goal. So let's see. I do think it's going to get quick little drop and then get that nice little pop. So best thing would be a big lower shadow. About a $2 fallout here. Here it comes. I think we might get a start here. Come on, get a little bit more here. Get a little bit more. Crack on down to mid to low 14s and get a quick little dip buy. Starting to happen, starting to happen, starting to happen. We basically want a big lower shadow to pop us right back on up. That's the goal. It's bouncing off the trend line. It's getting a little bit of a bounce off pretty quickly if it happens here. What do we get? 15. Hold on, we still want lower. We want lower. Guys, first entry getting filled. First entry just got filled. I got a 1470 was my first entry. I want it lower though. I want like low. There we go. Better entry. Better entries. I'm getting better entries right now. I'm getting filled. Getting filled on my potential dip buys here. These are my potential dip buy areas that I want. I got 750 shares filled so far at $14.40. I will add more if we drop into underneath $14. So I like how I'm filled at $14.40, 750 shares. If we can pop back above 15, I would like it. Get back above that $15 mark. That's going to be a goal here. And see if we can be able to ride on up here a little bit. So we just fell from $20 all the way down towards $14. We just fell about $5.50. My thought process is, okay, we just fell pretty big. Deck, let's see if we're going to get some sort of dip buy and bounce play. So right now I'm still looking to get my full position all the way down into the 14s, all the way down towards, again, that $13.90 mark. So I'm still, again, I'm in on this play at $14.40, which is where we're at right now. I don't think this is going to dump by any sort of means. I am looking for my dip buy here still. We've just had a massive pullback. I am going to look for a dip buy, as you guys know. And I'm almost sitting still just break even at this time. Still just sitting break even at this moment. Waiting for this. There we go. Little bit of a bounce. And let's get ourselves, back in the green if we can. So again, we got a nice little dip buy and bounce. We're trying to get this bounce back above 15 bucks and kind of soar back up towards around like 16. So if we can get back above like the $16 region. There we go. Here we go, guys. This is what I want more. So let's kind of soar back on up near around $16. Here we go. Nice little, again, dollar bounce. Now, again, we're back to even. Traders, let's take profits back towards even. All right. So now we just recovered from a $1,000 loss. Okay. Not bad. So team, let's think about what we've done so far. Okay. Let's be honest. Let's be open. Let's be transparent. Okay. Let's think about this here. We were down 2,000 bucks today. Then I recovered. Then I went down 1,000 bucks today. Then I recovered mostly. What is happening? Deck, it seems like at this moment, you are getting in on an entry, and it's not a bad entry. It's a solid entry, but you got out, you got in, you took a loss, and then you recover. You take a loss, and then you recover. You take a loss, and then you recover. So what do I need to do here, team? That is already telling me right now that my entries or my exits, I am having some negative momentum at this time. I am taking losses. So whenever I do that, team, this is what I like to do. Take a step back. Take a step back. Say to yourself, how can I be profitable today? I am almost at break even for myself here, right? Very small amount of money here. I'm saying the next trade that you make, Deck, make sure you're correct. And not only make sure that you're correct, but also when you are in the green, let's stay in the green. So when I see that I lost and then I made it back, and then I lost and I made it back, I don't want my next trade to be a loss just for me to try to make it on back. So I'm going to take back a step. I'm going to relax for a second. Remember, what did I tell you guys earlier? And I want you guys to try to live by some of these words in your stock trading career. You do not need to be a world-class trader to have world-class discipline. You could be the worst trader in the world, but if you have discipline, guess what? You're never going to blow up an account. I have discipline. I was down, I got out, I made back my money. I was down, I got out, I made back my money. It's not anything special to have discipline. Any single person can say to themselves, hey, this trade's not working out, let me move on. But 99% of people say, hey, this trade's not working out, let me keep on holding because maybe it'll work out later. That is not what we want. That is not what I want you guys to do. So I'm actually pumped that this is going on because guess what? I can guarantee that there is someone out in this chat, that there's someone out on this stream on YouTube, that there's someone watching over on Discord, that there's someone over on TikTok that is saying to themselves, hey, Deck, I can relate to this. It's great that you can show me how to do it the correct way. So I am very happy that this is happening at this moment. I'm very happy that this is going on at this time so that we can, of course, address it and talk about it all. Right? So right here, team, let's connect the dots. And also that 1440 area is pretty perfect. I know you guys are getting scared. Don't lie to me. When I was in on that dip buy, who here was saying, uh-oh, Deck's about to lose again? I know. I'm watching you. I know who you are. Don't doubt me. Don't doubt it. So right here, all set, ready to go. DTSS still trying to grind. I want to be the best trader I can be. Next trade I make, though, team, I'm going to be waiting for it. So right now, DTSS. Now, what's the greatest thing about DTSS? When it cracks this line, this will be the short for us. Ladies and gentlemen, if we crack underneath this line and we stay underneath this line, shorts are going to take over. This is the uptrend. If we go underneath this uptrend, we should see shorts take over. But if it bounces, which I do think it will, I actually am all right, let's go through a history. Traders, I'm taking my eyes off DTSS. If I miss it, no big deal. I want to go over history here because I just said, Deck, take a step back. So what do we have here, team? I want to look at yesterday's top gainers. Yesterday's top gainers. Let's go back to a 5-minute time frame. We had BGLC. What did BGLC do? BGLC spiked, it came on down, and then it spiked all the way back on up. It came on down, it spiked all the way back on up. We've had, not OMH, I know that one didn't do as much. BMR, what did this one do yesterday? BMR, nope, that one didn't do what I wanted to see. Let's go with HOLO. HOLO, what does this one do? This one spiked, came back on down. It spiked, it came back on down, and then it went on a very big spike. What I'm trying to say is I don't want to get caught up on DTSS if this play looks like it's about to dump and pops right back on up. So in my eyes right now, I know that this would be a short that I would usually take. But I do have some sort of fear because I've already taken, losses that I had to make back, that I'm saying to myself, let me pass this by. I'm going to take a mental trade. Mental trade, 14.22. I'm in on shorts. Mental trade, 14.22. I'm in on shorts. Let's see if this would be profitable. Let's see if me sitting out of it is the right idea to just get my confidence, to get my discipline, to make sure I'm being the smartest trader possible. So DTSS right here, team. Watching this closely. I want to see if this would get that pop back on up and if me getting in at 14.22 would be profitable or not. We also do have ELWS. ELWS, yep, that one could possibly work itself back on up. BREA, take a little BRE. BREA working its way back on up here slightly. All great alerts, guys. All great alerts. SMCI, 1875, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone looking for a little short at 1875? 1875, super strong resistance on all plays. But I do think it will break in time. I think we'll get a little pullback, but I think it'll break in time. See, what I want you guys to understand here, and I think a lot of you guys do understand this, but I know some people don't, is that I am here on this stream right now when I'm making tons of money, not to have you guys just have one random hit, say, I love stock trading and never do it again. I do not want to teach you guys how to gamble. I do not want to teach you guys how to randomly pick plays on out and hopefully they work out for you. That is not what I want. I do not want that for you in any way. I want to show you how to consistently make money, not follow random people, not follow Twitter, not follow Reddit, not follow StockTwits, not follow Facebook, not follow TikTok, not follow any of this stuff. But for you to sit down every day and say, all right, I know that this is what I'm supposed to do. I know this is what I'm not supposed to do. I know this is where I'm supposed to pull the trigger. This is where I'm not supposed to pull the trigger. This is where I'm supposed to make money. This is where I'm not going to make money. That's what I want for you guys. That's what I want to teach you. Sometimes randomly on social media, people just throw out some sort of hate comment because I get it. If you've never seen me again trade, or if you've never seen me stream, or if you never have seen me teach, you probably would throw me into the mix of all the other social media garbage out there. But as you guys can see, they're not even close. We're on a complete different planet. We're on a completely different level. We're on a completely different universe than every other one because we actually show you how to be able to consistently make money. And when we are down, we consistently have small losses and consistently have big wins, going over strategies, setups, discipline, technical analysis, indicators, level 2, volume reading to become a better trader. If you want to get rich overnight, that happens from years of practice to nail that one big trade. But if you want to get rich overnight without any sort of work, this ain't the room for you, right? It's just not. But if you want to do this for a living, this is the room for you. So there's much difference, team. But I know you guys see that. So great job, great work. Right now, team, we're getting fired up at this moment. Staying as smart as we can, staying alert, staying ready. Staying alert, staying ready on all accounts here. Gonna start turning up a little bit of tunes though, eh? Get a little bit of tunes going for everyone in the background there. Team, we got DTSS still trying to hold up its gains here. Got SMCI. SMCI came up to 880. First little pullback, team. SMCI, 875. Strong resistance. I know that. It's always going to hold. But the thing is, team, if this can't hold 875, we might start seeing a little reversal. Now, when could this little reversal start? Break of that trend line. I just know 875 is always tough. 875 is always a little tough here. So I definitely want to keep my eyes peeled on that. Anything else going crazy right now? DTSS, no. ELWS. ELWS, a little bit of a dip buy. Right now, we're all set, ready to get after it here. Little heads on up. NAOV still trying to go. Right now, also, team, all of these companies are sending me the links at this time, which is great for their special codes. So TradeZella getting a code, Fox Runner got a code, Lightspeed got a code, and Trade Ideas got a code. You guys will be the only people that have access to all this stuff, but you guys have to be members of Tradecaster to be able to access it. So make sure tomorrow is huge for us, team. Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, gonna be massive for everyone. You guys are gonna be set with everything that you guys need. Everything that you guys need. After tomorrow, you guys won't need another broker, won't need any other scanners, won't need anything whatsoever. You guys will be all set. You'll have everything. And now SMCI still again watching this play. We also do have DTSS, which is starting to crack a lot more. DTSS is getting a bigger crack. You guys can see how that trend line is fading. That trend line is dumping. You can connect some dots right here to try to figure out how high this may go up to before it starts reversing. But DTSS traders, you guys can see that this play is, kind of sitting right on this trend line. I am sitting slightly in the red at this moment. I'm looking for a little bit of a better position coming on up here. SMCI still going, still holding its trend line. So yes, if you want to, team, there is no harm in saying, Dek, let me go on the long side on SMCI. No harm in that whatsoever. If anyone says, hey, Dek, I'm going to go in on the long side on SMCI as long as it holds above 875, I am not opposed to that. So remember, what did I tell you? I said I will not short until trend lines crack. We never talked about not going on the long side, though. If SMCI can be able to break through that 880 mark, we might be able to take on off all the way up towards, what? We might be able to take on off towards 900 plus. So SMCI here, traders, this one moves, this one has already gone $50 in the day. This one has already popped up $50 today. How insane is that? SMCI, crazy mover, crazy spiker, crazy action, crazy activity. And that one has just consistently been spiking higher and higher and higher. Jason, shout out to Jason today with the donation. $5 donation from Jason saying deck for president, even with the raspy voice. Jason, let's go, buddy. I absolutely appreciate you. I appreciate everything that you do. I appreciate you bringing the house down every day. Deck for president. Baby, oh baby, oh baby. Thank you so much. I love it. It gets me so fired on up. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Jason, as always, buddy. Appreciate you, Jason. Thank you so much. Right now, SMCI still going. Right now, team, keeping our eyes peeled over on SMCI. Still trying to push here. SMCI still trying to push. SMCI still doing its thing here. Deck, where do I get the sale tomorrow? It's all going to be on tradecaster.com. So if you guys are interested on the sale tomorrow, it will all be on tradecaster.com so that you guys are all good, ready to go. So do not miss it. So you guys are all set, tradecaster.com. Little heads on up. SMCI still pushing here, team. Still pushing over on SMCI. This play won't stop. It just keeps on going every day, doesn't it, team? It's one of those plays you just got to pull the trigger and hold tight on if you guys are interested on it. All right, team, let's see what we got. Let's see what's next here. I want that one easy trade here today to make sure I get into the green and crush it. CCCG right here, trying to get a little bit of action. SMCI. Remember the main short. You could look for a little, like a day short today, team. You could look for like a day short today if this trend line cracks. But the main short, the main one over on SMCI is where? All the way back on down at this point to 780. It's about $100 less at this moment. So SMCI, the main short on this play is about $100 less than where we're at this moment. So that's the main short over on SMCI. But right here, you can see this play still just battling. Can't really go against it. DTSS team, I would not be shocked if DTSS gets back up to 20 bucks. I would not be shocked in any way if DTSS spikes back up towards 20 bucks. So I want to make sure that we're all set. DTSS could easily squeeze, and I know it could. I know DTSS could easily squeeze, easily keep on pushing, easily get this momentum, easily get this money here. So I want to make sure everyone is all set, ready to rock and roll. Awesome job. Awesome work. Also, little heads up today, everyone. I do want to give a shout out to all the ladies in here, all the husbands in here. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. From the bottom of my heart to yours, I want to let you know, guys, that when every single morning when I look into this camera, today's Valentine's Day, so I'm going to tell you right now, when I look at you in a way that I shouldn't be. You could say that I'm acting a little bit naughty, but today, I'm acting up in here, traders. Happy Valentine's Day to you sexy thing. Happy Valentine's Day to you absolutely love machine. I know what you're going to be doing today. I know where we're at today. And I want to let you know what you're doing later on. I hope you think of me.
Get it on, sugar. Let's get it on. We're all sensitive people with so much to give. Understand me, sugar.
All right. Oh, baby. That's enough of that today. Enough of that. But happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone here. So we're all good. Dek, can you explain your setup for us? No problem. So, guys, I'm going to give you guys my setup right now if you guys are interested in hearing what I use everything here. So if you guys see these charts right here, chart 1, chart 2, you guys can see that the breakout scanner, the high of the day momentum scanner, this scanner, the Holt scanner, top gainers, top losers, the mid candle breakout scanner. This is all from Trade Ideas. Now, you guys have my broker. You have this chart. You guys have this level 2. You guys have all my P&Ls, all of this stuff, showing you guys all the trades that I've made today, all that good stuff here, right? You guys are seeing this, my short locate box. This is all from Lightspeed. When I'm looking for news every morning, all the hot news every single day that comes on through, and how I find all my hot news every single day is I get that through Fox Runner. So I use Trade Ideas, I use Lightspeed, and I use Fox Runner for all my scanners and all my equipment. For tracking my trades and logging my trades, I use TradeZella. So, as you guys already know, that's all the equipment that I use, and you guys literally get all of it for free tomorrow. Literally everything I said, you guys get it all for free tomorrow if you guys sign up to Tradecaster or if you guys upgrade your subscription. If you are a Tradecaster member, you will have to upgrade to either 6-month, 12-month, or lifetime membership. Don't worry, Everything will be 30% off for you. So you guys will be all set, ready to go, and you guys will be saving a ton of money. If you guys are a brand new Tradecaster member, you guys will get an entire free month of access. But you guys will have everything for free. So I want to make sure that you guys are all good. Deck your portraits next to our wedding pic. Love it. Love it. DTSS. DTSS. I would not be shocked if this thing goes all the way back up to 20 bucks today. I would not be shocked if this thing goes back up to 20 bucks. SMCI. Guys, SMCI, small scalping short. I would not say this is the main short, but I would say I am not opposed for anyone doing a small scalping short on a stock that has moved nearly $100 in the last few days. Take a look at SMCI here, team. This is a play starting to get some weakness if you want to jump in on a small scalping short. So let me do a small scale experiment. Deck, what's your small scale experiment? Can everybody see, and I want everyone to be aware of this, can everyone see the effects when you crack a trend line? When you crack your trend line, you can clearly see how a stock goes from the bullish side of the trend line and now heads to the bearish side of the trend line. We can clearly see these effects. Bullishness to bearishness, where we do start seeing selling, where we start seeing more people get rid of their shares, where we see profit taking and we see shorters move in. Now, let's go on a much larger scale. And let's imagine we see this happen not on the 1 minute chart, but the 30-minute chart on a play that has been holding this for the last 3 weeks. What do you guys think is going to happen when SMCI cracks the trend line that it's been holding for the last 3 weeks? We're not going to see a little red candle. We're going to see a drop from nearly 800 all the way back down to what I would say 600. I think once we actually do get this crack, it'll be no less than a $200 drop. That's what I'm thinking. So SMCI here, I definitely want you guys to be on the idea of, okay, that's the big short coming on up. That's the big play coming on up. That's the big weakness coming on up here. Ruth, where do you sign up? Tradecaster.com tomorrow. A sale goes until Sunday. So again, Tradecaster.com tomorrow, and you guys will be all good. Right now, team, we are kind of waiting a little bit, and I do want to see if DTSS is going to get that pop. So we are giving it some time, waiting for a little bit of a better setup, and of course, we will be going from there. So giving a little bit of time, waiting for that better setup. Again, coming up next month, we are going to be having our syllabus on our stock trading masterclass. Stock trading masterclass coming on up. In this course, individuals will learn in detail stock trading basics, investment fundamentals, technical analysis, advanced charting, trading strategies. Each segment will cover a new topic in investing that will gradually ease from traditional investing to more modern trading strategies. This course is broken down into 24 individual parts, which will be the building blocks of successful investing. Objectives: learn core and advanced investing strategies, fully comprehend market analysis and research, create or find successful investment strategy based off your risk management, identify chart patterns and technical analysis for future movement. So, what do we have here? What is the stock market? Terminology, beginner mistakes, candlesticks, support and resistance, trend lines, entries and exits, markets and limit orders, buying and selling, pre-market buying and selling, psychology, mob shifting, time frames on charts, indicators, float and volume, how to find profitable news, breakout and chart setups, level 2, shorting, short squeezes, different ways to trade the market, how to create a morning watch list, options, brokers, and scanners. That is what we're all going to be teaching coming on up for our upcoming boot camp. If this sounds like something you don't want to miss, make sure you guys are getting ready to go. So team fired up, excited about that. Let me ask you guys right now. I want every single person to answer this. Every person right in the chat. Every person, if you're on YouTube, TikTok, Discord, Tradecaster, wherever you guys are at. Wherever you guys are at this moment, write out what is going to be or what is your favorite play right now. What is the play that's going to be the most profitable for the rest of the day? Everyone, write out your answer right now. I want to see what it is. What is going to be the most profitable play for the rest of the day? What do you guys think it is? Take a second, write out your play. I want to hear what it is. All right, traders, let's see what we got. Some of these answers: SPX, DTSS, we have SPY, SMCI, DTSS. Still a lot of people are still leaning towards that DTSS is going to be the number one play for us. DTSS is going to be the number one stock for us. All right, so DTSS. Let's run through them together. We do have DTSS fading off here. We also do have ELWS fading off here. We have BREA fading off here. We have CNVS fading off here. Let me ask you guys a question real quick. We just went over 4 different plays. All of them are dumping on down. What's more profitable, buying or shorting? Shorting is, to me, much more profitable. If I see that DTSS went on a spike and is now dumping on down, and ELWS went on a spike and dumped on down, and BREA went on a spike and dumped on down, and CNVS has gone on a spike and dumped on down, and IINN so far has gone on a spike and dumped on down, and BAOS has no volume, and RNEB barely has any volume, you guys can see what I mean. These top 5 plays have all spiked and have all crashed. That's why I love shorting. Because at some point in my trading career, I realized that nearly every single big spike usually leads to a very big dump all the way back on down. So to me, it was much simpler to say, hey, instead of trying to figure out what play is going to spike, why not just wait for a spike and then short it right back on down? To me, that was a lot more simple. SMCI traders definitely getting a little bit more weakness. Is anyone short right now in SMCI? Anyone saying, Dek, yeah, I jumped in on some SMCI shorts. You know what? I'm going to try to get after this. I'm going to try to see if I can make some money on this play. I'm going to see if SMCI can start fading on down a little bit more. So SMCI, the issue is, number one, as we already talked about, it did crack its trend line today. SMCI has gone from bullishness to bearishness today. The main trend line crack over on SMCI is not until the price of about $7.80. So you still have about $90 that we could fall at this time over on SMCI, right? And still be considered bullish. So it's a tricky play. If you want to do a small scalp today, maybe back down to 850, I think that could definitely work. But this would not be the main short. This would not be the main hurrah short. This would not be the main Fugazi play that everyone's looking for. But SMCI got up to a high of 886 and is definitely starting to get weaker at this time. So this one's starting to feed. Let's take a look over on the SPY here. SPY had a nice rip up towards around 498, starting to drop on down, definitely starting to get some weakness. Now, what you guys can take a look at with the SPY is you guys can see we had top right here, drop on down, top right here, drop on down, nice top right here, drop on down, nice top, drop on down, nice top, drop on down. Here's a little bit of a top back up near 498. Are we going to start fading and dropping back on down? So it does have, that possibility that if tomorrow we gap on down, things could start getting ugly. If we start gapping on down, things can start getting ugly. Things can start getting weaker. Things could start getting this drop. Absolutely. So I want to make sure every single person is prepared and aware of that. Let's head on over to CNBC.com here. CNBC, any sort of big news that's kind of standing out. Uber pops more than 10% on 7 billion share buyback. Here's what Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg has to say about Apple Vision Pro. Lyft shares jump over 30. Did you guys see this last night? Lyft last night came on out and they went on a big spike, but then they dumped on off. So let me bring this on up. Lyft yesterday. Let's go to the after hours. Post market. Let's go back to a 5-minute time frame. Did anyone see this? This is pretty funny. So Lyft last night went from the price of $12 to $21. Then it crashed all the way back down to $12. This is actually it's funny to me. I think it's crazy. And what I think is so crazy and so funny about this is that they said that, I think it's market manipulation, but they said, oh, sorry, we made a typo. We made an error. So Lyft stated that they made, whatever it was, 100% return on investment. And they said, sorry, we actually added an extra zero. It's actually only 10% return on investment. So it was something along those lines where they're like, oh, sorry, we added an extra zero. We added an extra number. So as an investor, you're reading the earnings report and you're saying to yourself, whoa, a 100%, boom, massive spike. Then about 30 minutes later, it goes crashing on down. They say, oh, our bad. We added an extra number there. We didn't mean to. It wasn't 100%. It was only 10%. And the stock came crashing all the way back on down. It still had a good earnings, but they basically lied about what they made. The stock went crazy. I could imagine them selling and then say, oh yeah, sorry, our bad. Right? How crazy is that? How nuts is that that's allowed to happen? Let's see. CEO shared his opinions. He said the Meta Quest 3 is better value and a better product, period. Ooh, Mark Zuckerberg and Apple getting a little drama up in the air. Quest 3's better value, better product, better pizza, better money, better bitches, Papa John's. Apple launched for $3,500. SMCI here, traders. Take a look at this turnaround. Very nice turnaround over on SMCI. Very nice turnaround over on SMCI so far. Seeing this thing turn. So you can see this one continuously drop and fade. Dek, how's your house sale going? No one bought it yet. But the open house is again coming on up. But I think I'm gonna be able to make it happen. So if we take a look here, right now, 2 days. 2 days on the market. 132 saves. And this just popped up this morning. Likely to sell faster than 91% faster than other places nearby. Guys, I think it's going to work. Remember, I told you guys my strategy before. I bought this house before here, team. And I bought this home for $1.5 million. That's what I bought it for. We just put it up for sale for just under $2 million. I'm trying to get a quick little $400K. That's what I'm going for. I'm going for a quick little $400,000 if I can make it happen. Now, yes, I do have to pay again my realtor. But if we can be able to, what I'm hoping is that a bidding war starts about two people. And I say, this guy offered more. This guy offered more. And hopefully we can actually sell this for like 2.1. I hope, again, people are still going over asking price, right? So if I can go 2.1, basically take 100,000 out in fees, and then I get like 500K. Oh, let's see what we can do here. But I'm trying to get that real estate flip. That's what I'm going for. So far, so good. Going for the real estate flip though at this time. And also, a little side note, always hold your homes for a minimum of 1 year. That's what it is, team. So for anyone that wants to get involved in real estate, if you guys want to see anything, you always need to hold your homes for 1 year. Now, why is that? Because if you hold your home less than 1 year, team, and you try to sell it, you could pay as much as 37% in capital gain taxes. 37%. So if anyone's wondering, Dek, how long have you owned this home? I bought this home on February 12th last year. So I actually just went over the 1 year mark 2 days ago. So once you again cross over 1 year of owning a home, it goes to 0%, 15%, or 20% in taxes, depending on your tax bracket. But imagine again selling your home last week or 2 weeks ago, and you have to pay 37%. So that's why I waited until this week, because now I'm officially at the 1 year mark. Right now, I'm officially at the 1 year mark of owning this home. And now I'm only going to be at 0, 15, or 20% that I need to pay. Or not if I buy another home. I could, again, put some of this money towards another home, and then I don't have to pay anything. That is a good point as well. This is so crazy here. You know, just a little heads up. So Forza right now saying, everyone, this is a recording. Everyone, I saw this already. This is a recording. I do this live every day. So if you think this is a recording, I am literally speaking your name right now. Okay. So some people I just can't please. I try to do as much as I can. I'm literally even talking to the people, and they still think it's a recording. I'm literally, the timing, the predictability on my recordings have to be amazing. Oh no, Dek's not really making this money. This is all a recording. You got it. You're right on. It's all recorded. So right here, still watching SMCI. Traders, is there a trade that guys, DTSS, I told you. We're starting to creep here. DTSS. It seems like this is going to be our only option here. So DTSS, this is like our only option at this time. Watching to see, can we be able to squeeze ourselves on up? Can we be able to get this thing popping and moving even more here? So DTSS. Still watching this move. Still watching this climb. Anyone short on SMCI right now? How many people are short on SMCI at this moment? I do like it. I am tempted. I like it. I'm tempted. But you guys know the main area I want. But I do think we could fall down to at least like 850, 840. Like we could easily fade on down even weaker and lower and lower. So SMCI, if you guys are shorting this play, there's so much potential to be able to make so much money on that drop. DTSS is slowly creeping its way on up even more here, team. This is a play that's going to go for a U-shaped breakout. Now, I want to explain a U-shaped breakout right now. This right here, team, is setting itself up in a U-shaped breakout. What is a U-shaped breakout? Number one, we go on a spike. Here is number one. Very nice spike. Number two is that we establish resistance. Resistance is going to be the high of the day. So right here, we are establishing where we need to break. Here is where we need to break. Here is number two. Number three is going to be the pullback. The pullback, which is going to state to traders, hey, we're having a very big drop after going on a spike. So we do have our very nice pullback. Number three is going to be finding support. This is showing that buyers and sellers are starting to even out. Buyers and sellers are starting to even out. And now that we are actually starting to get what? Number four, a little bit of higher lows. So we do have three, which is our pullback. Four, which is going to be consolidation or support. And five, we're building higher lows back on up towards that old resistance mark. Now, what's going to be next? The next point is going to be to get back to resistance and then get our breakout. So the next point is get back to resistance and then get the boom and get the breakout. Get the move towards the upside. Get the rip, get the run, get the climb, get the goodies. All right, guys? Because I want the goodies. And I want the goodies badly. So the thing is, what can we see here? Spike, drop, consolidation, squeezing out shorters, higher lows, get the breakout. That is what we have. You guys can see how it's trying to build here and get that move, get that pop, and squeeze back on up. Deck, can you look for a short on this play? I definitely think you can. Somewhere more closer towards what we get up to, 18, 15. I was going to say maybe back up towards like $19 plus. Why are blue chips not moving like last week? I mean, it really is just the market conditions. It's the weather right here, right? It's the S&P 500. The S&P 500 was hitting record highs. When you hit record highs, every trader in the market is looking at it. When you get dumped $9, people lose excitement. People lose hype. People lose focus. So the thing is, what happened here over on the S&P 500 is we saw a massive record high and then we saw a dump. We saw a massive record high and then we started seeing a fade. So there's not as much excitement behind it anymore. SMCI traders, a little bit of a pop at this moment. SMCI, still keep your eyes peeled over on that one. And we do have DTSS. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's probably going to wait until we get up towards around like 11:30 to 11:45. If I had to take a guess, I think it's going to consolidate, get a little pullback, and then squeeze probably closer towards after 11. But let's watch to see. Let's see what we get here coming on up. Scrooge Can is a beast. Let's see here. C-A-N. Can. C-A-N. Little, yeah, I like it. Little pop, pullback. Nothing that's insane, but I do enjoy it. I do like it, Scrooge. CNVS getting a little bit of a squeeze on up. CNVS, a little bit of a squeeze here. Right now, traders, I'm just keeping my eyes peeled, looking for that next move, that next rip, that next play. Deck, what's the primary time frame to look at to qualify your trades on the SPY? Like to qualify any trades, or like, what do you mean? Happy to help. I always, the hottest time, excuse me, the hottest time will always be the morning. Okay? The hottest time will always be the morning. The hottest time will always be, that morning session. That's going to be so important for you. Morning session, always so important. That's going to be the time that you want to be looking at. Right now, we're still just watching DTSS. And there's a little bit of that turnaround. DTSS team is going to try to build some sort of higher low. I would say that this has the best chance of spiking. This has a best chance of spiking, over lunch hours. DTSS, a little bit weaker. ELWS, BREA, CNVS, IINN. Yeah, all these have faded off already. All these have dumped. It really comes on down to DTSS is our last chance. DSSS is our last chance. DTSS is our last opportunity to be able to get some sort of squeeze on up. Forza, thank you for the hearts. The rose from Antique. I appreciate you. I appreciate all you guys. You guys are fantastic. Right now, the SPY is still getting weaker here, team. Might be able to get, if we want to get ourselves into the green, we might be able to get a SPX trade. Come on, grab this. Let's take a look over on SPX here for a second. I want to delete this line. There we are right here. That is obviously our main support line going across the board. Main support line going across the board over on SPY, SPX. We have room to fall back down to 4,969. And we are still on a very nice downtrend here. I'm going to adjust this, connect some dots a little bit better. So just a little heads on up. It does look like the SPY and SPX are going to feed on down towards the low of the day. Does look like we are getting weaker here. So if you are interested in maybe on a quick little SPX or SPY trade, things are starting to feed a little bit more. We still have that weakness. We still have that room to fall. And we are coming on down towards that low of the day area. So maybe a quick little trade, very quick, just to get ourselves back in the green. Could be SPX here. February 15th, put contract, 4,975. Do 3 contracts as we're coming on down towards the low of the day. Looking for that quick little pullback and that quick little bounce, quick little drop on down. Because the SPY is weak right now. So I'm just going to give it a chance. SPY or SPX, if that order didn't get filled. There it goes. Order just got filled at the... I don't know if I like this order. That kind of got filled later than what I wanted. That got filled later than what I wanted. But let's see if I can just make a quick little $200 here and sell it. Guys, we got a quick little drop here. Can we again sell off? SPX starting to sell. Only 3 contracts. SPX, I'm doing a put contract here. Put contract. Guys, I'm up 250. Guys, all right, back in the green. So, I'm back in the green on the day. Quick little SPX scalp there. Guys, nice little sell-off right here. As again, SPX and SPY came on down to the low of the day. So if you're wondering what I just did at that moment, I saw that we have a downtrend, we have massive support, and if we crack this area, we're going to get some new lows. If we crack this area, we're going to get a sell-off. So what did we do? We came on down, I jumped in, it cracked on down, and I was able to just recover, put myself back in the green, and now I just feel good that I'm in the green before lunch hours. I just feel good that I'm winning once again. It makes me feel good that I made back all my losses, and basically so far in this entire day, it's been a scratch. This entire day so far, yes, I've had some trades, I've won some, I lost some, I've had great risk management, and I'm able to, again, end this morning off slightly in the green. I lost $300. I won $700. I lost $2,000. I made back the $2,000. And now, again, I am sitting in the green at this time, currently up $44 on the day. Is it a lot? No. But guess what? If I'm having a red day today or an off day, I would love that my off days are me in the green still. Does anyone here play golf? If you guys ever play golf, sometimes you may have a miss hit. What would your miss hit like to be? I would like my miss hits to still be in play. Some people miss hits are way into the woods. Imagine if your worst golf swing was still keeping the ball in play. That's not too bad. Imagine other people's worst golf swings, which they're sending it to Pluto and sending it into the 9th hole, and you're only on hole 2. That's obviously way different. If my bad days or my red days or my off days are me only being slightly in the green, that means I'm going to be the most amazing trader in the world. And I love that. SMCI traders, I love seeing it. SMCI, you guys can see we are starting to drop. SMCI, we are starting to get some weakness here. SMCI traders, we are starting to get more of this feed. So if you guys are shorting SMCI, so far, so good. So great work. Also, a little heads on up. DTSS team coming back on up for that fury. I told you, DTSS is not going to go down without a fight. DTSS here, traders. Everyone's going to be watching it. Everyone's going to be focused on this play. Master Blaster, it's slow, time for a lesson. Well, the thing is, Master Blaster, I always love doing lessons, but I told you right here, we have a huge boot camp coming on up. So I'll be honest, I kind of am saving a lot of my lessons right here for this boot camp that you guys are about to get your education taken to the next level. So with this boot camp that's coming on up here, that's kind of what I'm saving all the big lessons for. So the big lessons coming on up, going to be for the boot camp, and I'm looking forward to that. Boot camp's going to be happening next month. Make sure you guys are signing up to the sale. Get a free month of TradeCaster. Make sure that you guys are getting 30% off when you upgrade your subscription. And you guys will be getting everything from trade ideas to Fox Runner. Remember, sale starts tomorrow. Sale starts tomorrow, goes until Sunday. TradeCaster, TradeZella, Fox Runner, Lightspeed, Trade Ideas. Current members, if you want this, upgrade your subscription, you get 30% off. So again, current members, upgrade your subscription, 30% off, you will get it. All new members, you get access to free for a month, and you get everything as well. So we are giving you guys the best possible discount with everything that you could ever imagine. This goes live starting tomorrow. Right now, DTSS ready to rock and roll here. Team fired up and ready to go. Right now, DTSS watching this one closely, waiting to see where this one's going to be taking us here. And we're going to have a couple random squeezes on this play. We will. We'll be having a couple random squeezes on this play. Right now, DTSS is everything for us, team. We are staying smart. We're staying alert. We're not forcing, waiting for this next possibility. All eyes on these plays here. Slow and steady right now. Slow and steady and slowly building. Dek, what's your view on SMCI? I think you know it. You know that I want this thing to dump. You know that I want this thing to crack. And today, we've already got a nice little dump on down. But the main dump, again, traders, I will say it 100 times. The main crack is not until this purple line cracks. All the way back on down towards the price of $7.85. So the thing is, SMCI, the main dump won't happen today. The main dump most likely won't happen tomorrow. You know, I think there's going to be a lot of consolidation. I think there's going to be a lot of bouncing, and I'm going to be straight up with you. The main dump is probably not going to happen until next week. Next Thursday, NVDA has earnings. If NVDA has bad earnings, goodbye to AI. Once NVDA puts out a bad earnings session, goodbye to all AI. The AI hype will fade and fall then. But if AI comes out with another good earnings, it's only going to keep progressing higher and higher and higher and higher. So it really just all depends. Is AI or is NVDA going to be able to keep this momentum alive? Andreas, it will balance out. So if you have a contract and it does a split, I don't know the exact metrics on how it works, but it will balance out 100% so you're not getting screwed over or getting some sort of ridiculous money. So no matter what, if you have a split, your contract will balance it out for you. So basically, yeah, Praise, we're waiting for a bad report on NVDA next Thursday so the AI hype dies. That's going to be the easiest answer for you. Or it's the dump back underneath 885. So both of those are opportunities for, again, massive cracks and massive sell-offs. Traders, DTSS, this is where we're at. I'm going to tell everyone this right now. DTSS is going to give it another attempt. It's going to have another attempted spike, okay? But it's most likely not going to happen until closer to 12 o'clock. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a step back off the mic. We're going to take a step back off commentary. And once DTSS gets back above the price, gets back above 1850, I'm jumping back on the mic and then we'll pick up our commentary. So the thing is, I'm kind of expecting that we are going to have commentary over lunch hours. I think DTSS is most likely going to be getting tighter and tighter and tighter and then get a pop and a rip on up. If DTSS starts fading and falling, unfortunately, it seems like everything else is fading and falling. ELWS, fading and falling. BREA, fading and falling. CNVS, fading and falling. SNTG, fading and falling. There's not much left here. INNN, fading and falling. The S&P 500, fading and falling. The only option we have left is DTSS for a breakout. That's the only thing I see here. And if I'm wrong, we're a community. Step up and tell me. Say, Dek, no, this is spiking. But what I would say is at this time, all eyes should be on DTSS. Once it gets back above $18, I will jump back on the mic. I'm not ending the YouTube session. I'm just, again, jumping off until we get back above $18. Is that good, everyone? Does that make sense? So the moment you guys look at your scanners and you guys see that we're back above 1850, Dek's back on the mic. And that's when we can start getting involved in trades. But I would highly suggest that nobody make a trade until DTSS gets back above 1850. Now, if you guys want me to stay on YouTube, smash that thumbs up right now. If you guys want me to stay on YouTube, smash the thumbs on up so I make sure that we're all set, ready to go. Little side note, team. Want to hear a little conspiracy? Here's a little conspiracy theory. Ready for this? Little conspiracy theory for you. All right, here's a good one. I want to set the mood. All right, team. Here we go. Here's a conspiracy that a lot of people are talking about NVDA at this time. And what the conspiracy is that NVDA is all about artificial intelligence and programming, which is weird when you think about the fact that the stock market also has to do with algorithms and has to do with programming. So is there a possible way that the CEO of NVDA, who has hired thousands of programmers to push their NVDA trips, has maybe been able to figure out an algorithm through AI in the stock market? And maybe this whole entire NVDA push isn't really even from investors, but maybe this NVDA push this entire time is from the AI programmers that they are hiring from people buying in on NVDA to be able to discover these stock market algorithms. Because someone has to program them. Someone needs to make them. Someone needs to be able to put into the stock market, stock goes higher if this happens. So what if we made an AI algorithm to figure out the stock market algorithm? And who's better to do that than NVDA to make the stock go even higher and potentially never stop going up? Whoa. 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 What do you guys think? So, pretty nuts. Hey guys, that's what's happening? No, I don't think though. It's just a little story time. Okay, little story time. Little fun. Little story time here. So, traders, DTSS getting a little bit weaker. DTSS getting a little bit of a fade here. DTSS starting to get a little bit of a drop. Something I forgot about today though, and we do have to do it. So we have to spin the wheel, don't we guys? I want to be giving away. Give away money, spinning the wheel, giving away profit. But I know some people already logged off. I don't want them to miss their chance. That's the thing. Can we all remember? How about tomorrow, 11 o'clock sharp, we do a giveaway. 11 o'clock sharp, we do a spin the wheel. 11 o'clock sharp, we make sure that you guys are winning some money. So we do need to have a spin the wheel. I feel like, again, a lot of people are already starting to log off because things are starting to die and slow on off here. So let's make an agreement. Tomorrow, 11 o'clock, we are still live doing our thing. We will spin the wheel and see what we have. All right? So, very exciting, very awesome stuff. Seeing what's going to be, the next big move here. Team, as you guys can see, ELWS starting to fade. BREA starting to get weaker. CNVS starting to dump. CMCO starting to get weaker. PLCA, nothing. There's nothing going on at this moment. Nothing going on at this time. Nothing going on at this moment. Nothing we need at this exact second. So traders, what do you guys think I need to do at this point? I would say keep your eyes peeled on DTSS. I'm going to leave the YouTube live stream up for now. If we can get above the price of $18.50, this orange line, I'm jumping back on the mic. If we can't break the point of $18.50, then we are going to wrap up. And then again, I will see you guys back here this afternoon. So let's give it until probably about like 12:30 or so to see if DTSS is going to be able to hold its gains, see what's going to be coming on up, and then of course we'll be going from there. Other than that, feel free to again hit me on up and we'll be all set, ready to go. Traders, as always, I had a blast today. It was a little bit crazy, a little bit active. I loved again my trades. Unfortunately, I didn't make as much money as I wanted, but I was able to recover from every loss I took. It was not a big winning day for me, but I was able to recover from every single loss that I took, and I'm finishing this day in the green, which I love. Traders, everyone here, shout out to you guys. Shout out to this amazing community. Shout out to everyone who's just absolutely crushing. If DTSS gets back above $18, we are back live on the mic. So don't go anywhere. I will see everyone back here this afternoon and we'll be all set, ready to go. Things are getting a little bit slower, so hopefully DTSS brings some life back into it, because if not, we're not really going to have many options this afternoon. So that's what it comes on down to. Other than that, though, ladies and gentlemen, my stream is staying up. We're all set, ready to go. Help me wrap this one on up. You guys know the drill in 3, 2, 1. Hit me with it now. Mine are weak right now. Mine are weak. I'm sorry. All right, hit me with a good one. I'll see you guys again once DTSS gets back above $18.
And I could get a stock like RIM for maybe, that might cost me 15, 20 million, Annie, to knock RIM down. But it would be fabulous because it would beleaguer all the moron longs who are also keying on research and motion.
Who is he referring to here? Who are the morons, the idiots, the novice traders?
It is a very quick way to make money and very satisfying. No one else in the world would ever admit that, but I don't care.
That's right, and you can say that here.
I can't, I'm not going to say it on TV.
This clip is from a leaked video from one of the most controversial hedge fund manager. His name is James Cramer, and he was just caught on camera explaining in detail how he manipulates the market and how he deceives small traders and leaves them holding the bag. This video was actually meant for the VIP members of his website, thestreet.com. And it's actually one of those members who leaked this video on YouTube, and within days it spread like wildfire. I will show you the entire thing as I walk you through it word by word, explaining how hedge funds like Cramer's and banks like Barclays, Citibank and JP Morgan make hundreds of millions of dollars each time they manipulate the market. And do you know why I named these banks specifically? Well, because they already pleaded guilty to felony charges in one of the biggest Forex scandals in history, called the Forex probe in 2015. And they were fined through the roof because of it. Just make sure to watch until the end, and I will prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt that no matter which market you choose to trade, futures, commodities, stocks, crypto, or even Forex, each and every one of them is manipulated the same way by a different player. Let's dive right into it.
Welcome to Wall Street Confidential. I'm Aaron Task, joined again by Jim Cramer. Jim, welcome.
Good to see you.
Thanks for being here. There's a lot of economic data out today, but I want to talk about something else first. Again, today we have the misdirection from the futures. The futures pointing to an up market, and as of right now, stocks are down again. Is this just because it's the holiday period that we're seeing this?
You know, a lot of times when I was short, at my hedge fund and I was positioned short, meaning I needed it down, I would create a level of activity beforehand that could drive the futures. It doesn't take much money.
If you understood what he just said, tell me, is he a buy and hold investor? No, of course not. He's a professional, an institution, a hedge fund. But what is more interesting, he says he needed it down and it doesn't take much money. Let us continue to see what he means by that.
Or if I were long and I would want to make things a little bit rosy, I would go in and take a bunch of stocks and make sure that they're higher. And maybe commit $5 million in capital to do it, and I could affect it.
So, of course, what you want to do requires a lot of money. And that's the thing. More money coming into a particular market than it's going out at a certain point in time. It's inevitable that this market is going up and vice versa. So he pushes them a little bit higher with a little bit of capital. How much? 5 million to attract whom? The retail traders, right? That's what he means by making things a little bit rosy. Let's watch what he's doing next.
It probably is bigger market now. Maybe you need 10 million in capital to knock the stuff down, but it's a fun game and it's a lucrative game. And
so he pushes the market first up to attract and trap all the retail traders, and then he's shorting it with more money, 10 million, to knock this stuff down. And for him, it's just a fun game and a lucrative game because who is making the money here? The institutions, because they control where the market is going and they push it to areas where they want the market to be. Makes sense so far? Let's continue.
You can move it up and then fade it. That's often creates a very negative feel. So let's say you take a longer term view intraday and you say, listen, I'm going to boost the futures, and then when the real sellers come in, real market comes in, they're going to knock it down. That's going to create a negative view. That's a strategy very worth doing. I would encourage anyone who's in the hedge fund game to do it because it's legal.
Right.
And it.
Who is he referring to? Who are the real sellers? The real market? Of course, the banks and institutions. And he encourages all institutions to play exactly the same because he knows that they are doing it anyway. And the best part, it's legal. They're just using the power of money. More money coming in, it's going up. More money going out, it's going down. Demand exceeds supply, it's going up. Supply exceeds demand, it's going down. That's the law. Let me now explain the part where he says you can move it up and then fade it, especially the psychology behind it. This is very interesting. Watch this candle with me. You see that big explosive candle? You know this is caused by banks and institutions. But are they buying this all the way up? No, of course not. They just have to initiate the move. Remember, make it look a little bit rosy. Because they know that novice traders will get FOMO, the fear of missing out kicks in, and they just jump on the train wagon and they start buying at a premium to drive price even higher. Which emotion is driving these actions in retail traders? Every single time? It's greed, of course. What is happening next? He fades it. They are slowly pushing it down. Why? Because this creates what emotion in novice traders? Fear, the fear of losing, that's correct. Now again, are they shorting it all the way down? No, they don't have to. They just initiate the move and the retail traders will sell all the way for them because they are afraid. They have fear. Some of them might also short down here, which is causing that domino effect. And by the way, which is the stronger emotion here? Fear or greed? Fear, right? That is why when the market starts to drop, it drops much quicker compared to when it goes up. That's why it's such a fabulous way to make a lot of money, play the fear in people, make quicker and bigger explosive candles. So now you might ask yourself, well, Bernd, we have discussed the banks and institutions, what they do, and we have seen what the novices do, but where are we, the professional retail traders, in this equation? Now watch this. Look at the screen and see what picture on the price chart you can identify. A rally in price, some basing, and a strong drop in price. Rally, base, drop. Exactly. So we just identified a supply zone. We see that and know, institutions, I got you. The people who lose, the novice retail crowd that loses, always makes that clear mistake. The buyers here are making this mistake. They're buying after rallying price, and buying after rallying price is not a smart thing to do. You would never do that in any other part of your life and be successful. The fact that price drops as it does here tell us that supply exceeds demand at the origin of that drop. So we apply what we learned to do is to wrap two lines around that level, proximal and distal line, highlight the area with the yellow box and carry that level forward. Bottom line, we are creating a supply zone. So we wait for price to come back into that area and then we engage. Because we also know that the banks and institutions who sold up here couldn't sell everything they wanted to sell, otherwise price would have never dropped in such a strong fashion, correct? You understand the rationale and psychology behind that. That's professional trading 101. So let's continue with the leaked video.
Because it's legal,
right?
And it is a very quick way to make money and very satisfying.
Okay. Well,
by the way, no one else in the world would ever admit that, but I can care.
That's right, and you can say that here.
I can't. I'm not going to say it on TV.
Very quick and satisfying way to make money for institutions, right? And of course, banks and institutions will never say how they trade on TV. Why would they? Thanks to the person who leaked the video though.
Well, the hedge funds are positioned long short, okay? Not just long like mutual funds.
Mutual funds have that one big risk. They only can go long. They can only make money when price is going up. Hedge funds, though, can make money on all directions.
You've really got to control the market. You can't let it lift. When you get a research in motion, it's really important to use a lot of your firepower to knock that down because it's the fulcrum of the market today. So, I mean, let's say I were short. What I would do is I would hit a lot of guys with RIM.
So just to understand this contextual, when this video leaked a couple of years back, research in motion, so RIM was the stock symbol, was basically the Apple and Nvidia of today. Everybody was crazy about that stock. What was RIM? It's BlackBerry, the mobile phone company back in the days. Nobody's using BlackBerry anymore, but just a few years back, it was one of the most hyped stocks out there.
You can't create yourself an impression that a stock's down. But you do it anyway because the SEC doesn't understand it. So that's the only sense that I would say this is illegal.
Ooh, now it's getting juicy. Who is the SEC? Security and Exchange Commission. What's their duty? First of all, protect investors against fraudulent market manipulation, and secondly, to maintain fair, orderly, and efficient markets. Why is he saying that they don't understand it? Who works at the SEC? Lawyers and economists, but not traders who understand the mechanics of the market.
You would hit this guy and that guy, and when you would see an offering, when you see a guy who's bidding, you'd wipe out that guy very quickly. And what I used to do was called, if I wanted to go higher, I would take and bid, take and bid, take and bid. And if I wanted to go lower, I'd hit an offer, hit an offer, hit an offer.
So what is he doing here? Take and bid, take and bid. The market is like a poker table. Money is circulating. It's a zero-sum game. For every buy transaction, you need a sell transaction. And for every sell transaction, you need a buy transaction. You cannot buy if you don't have a seller on the other side and vice versa. So what is he doing when he says take and bid? He's buying from a seller and he's buying from a seller and again until there's no seller left in the market. So what ultimately must happen? Demand exceeds supply, prices go up. And when he says hit an offer, he's selling to a buyer and selling to a buyer again and again and again until there's no buyer left. So what is the inevitable? Supply exceeds demand, price drops. And how come he can do all that? He's an institution. He has the money. He has the firepower.
And I could get a stock like RIM for that might cost me 15, 20 million, Annie, to knock RIM down. But it would be fabulous because it would beleaguer all the moron longs who are also keying on research in motion.
Who is he referring to here? Who are the morons, the idiots, the novice traders, the ones that are watching his TV show every single day, the ones that are just blindly buying into a price level where supply exceeds demand, the ones that are trading without plan and only trading out of greed.
Then you would call the journal and you get the bozo reporter on research in motion and you would feed that there's a Palm's got a killer it's going to give away. These are all the things you must do on a day like today, and if you're not doing it, maybe you shouldn't be in the game. Okay.
Now you see, we are getting into a territory where we have to ask the ethical question whether it is ethically right what banks and institutions are doing. Because what is he doing? He's calling the Wall Street Journal and spreading fake news because they also know that people jump on news and buying and selling based on that information. So when they want price to go up, they spread good news, and when they want price to go down, they spread negative news. Or you could argue, when they want to sell, they spread good news because good news makes people buy. And if they want to sell, remember, they need a buyer. Actually, they need a lot of buyers. And how do they get a lot of buyers? If they spread good news. Bottom line, we don't know why the media outlets release certain information. We only know that they release it intentionally. That is why we can never make decisions based on that information. This is all perception and therefore subjective. I really hope this makes sense. And he's even saying, if you don't do this as an institution, if you don't play this ethically questionable game, you shouldn't be in the market and play this game.
Yeah, Apple's very important to spread the rumor that that both Verizon and Bell.
In this video, I'm going to be going over exactly how much dividend income I made in the month of January from a $155,000 account, and to analyze this, we'll be jumping into my do-it-yourself investor toolkit and looking at my investment dashboard, my dividend dashboard, my dividend calendar, my daily dividend calendar, and we'll also be projecting what my portfolio will look like 10, 20, and 30 years in the future to see how long it will take me to live off dividend income. And like always, if you'd like to join a community of dividend investors and get access to any of my spreadsheets, then you can head over to my Patreon page at the link in the description. I'd also like to quickly say thank you to Seeking Alpha for sponsoring, but more on that later. Now let's go ahead and dive into the portfolio overview. If I go ahead and zoom in, we can see my portfolio value as of this moment currently touching a little over $156,000, and I've seen almost 22% gains, which comes out to around $29,130 in gains. Now, the long-term goal of this dividend portfolio is to one day be able to live off dividend income, and I know the best way to do that is to buy quality businesses that can grow their free cash flow year over year, which will allow them in turn to grow their dividend payments year over year. So that doesn't mean I necessarily focus on the highest yielding dividend stocks, but I need to focus on quality businesses that can grow free cash flow and have solid dividend growth rates. Now, when I started dividend investing around 10 years ago, this was definitely not something I understood. For example, Verizon Communications is a very popular dividend stock because they have a very nice high starting dividend yield sitting at 6.28%. That obviously makes them seem attractive. And if we look at the dividend history for this company, we can see they've been increasing their dividend payouts for 19 consecutive years. But here's the problem with this company. They don't consistently grow their free cash flow at a healthy rate, and because of that, they can't consistently grow their dividend payouts at a healthy rate. So for example, if we look at the dividend growth rates for this company, we can see the 5-year dividend growth rate sitting at around 2%. Now here's the big problem with that. That dividend growth rate is below the rate of inflation, meaning they are technically paying out less in dividends every single year. And if we look at the 10-year performance for this company, it has way underperformed the S&P 500, down around 9.37%. So again, the focus for my portfolio is to not necessarily buy the highest yielding dividend stocks, but to buy quality businesses that can grow their dividend payouts every single year. And so because of that, I added one new addition to my portfolio in the month of January. I felt this company is a quality business that will grow their free cash flow and dividend payments in the future, and it was trading at a great value at the time I bought in, and that company was Louis Vuitton, stock ticker LVMHF. Now it's currently trading at $842.75, but I bought in at around $7 $707 per share, which is around this range right here on January 16th. And if we jump over to my growth chart here on my Do-It-Yourself Investor Toolkit and blow this tab up, we can see I'm already up a little over 19% on this position after they recently announced a very nice earnings report. Now, this was only the second addition I've made to my portfolio over the last 6 months or so, and the other addition was waste management. I'm currently up around 20.68% on this position as well. I believe this company will have slow but reliable growth in the future, and both of these companies will help me achieve my long-term goal of living off dividend income. Now, looking at this growth chart, we can see I've had a few big winners in my portfolio so far. My biggest winner is Broadcom, stock ticker AVGO. I'm currently up a little over 134% on this position. We also have Caterpillar, I'm up around 73%, JP Morgan around 64.5%, and then we have Microsoft, I'm up around 52.7%. So yes, definitely some big winners, but we also have some other nice dividend growers in this portfolio that have performed fairly well, such as Starbucks, I'm up around 19%. We can see Lowe's around 22%. We have Domino's Pizza, I'm up 30%. Stocks like Bank of America, I'm up 23.5%. And over here, one of my favorite dividend growth stocks, Visa, I'm up around 38.78%. Now we can see I have a couple of losing positions as of right now as well. We can see Realty Income, I'm down around 1.34%, and then 3M stock, I'm down around 23.71%. But for the most part, almost all the holdings in my portfolio have taken a part of the huge bull run we've seen over the last year. Now, to be completely transparent, like I just mentioned, Louis Vuitton was the only new addition to my portfolio this month, but I did add a little bit of capital to 2 other positions. Now, one of the strategies with my portfolio when the market is high is to dollar cost average into my favorite dividend growth ETF, and that is SCHD, the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF. While I am trying to build up a larger cash position right now, I do think it makes sense to consistently dollar cost average into quality dividend growth ETFs such as SCHD so you can take part in massive bull runs. Now, the other stock that I added some new shares of this month was Starbucks Corporation. I only added a couple of shares, so not a whole lot of new capital was added to this position, but I did feel like they were trading at a pretty decent value at around $91 per share when I added more shares. I think the future growth of this company will be solid long term, especially as they expand into international markets. Now, if we jump back over to my Do-It-Yourself Investor Toolkit, you can again see my allocation chart right here. I'm currently sitting at around 12% cash and around 88% stocks. Now, my cash position in October got as low as around 3 or 4% as I deployed a lot of new capital into stocks that I felt were trading at a very good value at that time. Now, typically I aim to invest around $2,500 every single month, but I have contributed quite a bit less over the past few months as I feel most stocks on the market are quite a bit expensive at this time. We can see my total holdings sitting at around 30. Long term, I would like to get this closer to 25. Here we have my cost and market value chart. This is basically just a way to see how my positions have performed over time by looking at their cost versus their market value. Now, we already touched on my growth chart over here, but let's go ahead and see how my portfolio is currently diversified. If we blow up this chart just a little bit, we can see SCHD makes up by far the biggest amount of my portfolio at almost 50%. Again, this is a fund I'm dollar cost averaging into every single month, and I believe the fund will easily help me achieve my long-term goal of one day living off dividends as they provide a nice starting dividend yield, they hold solid companies, and provide phenomenal dividend growth. But other than that, we can see some of the larger positions in my portfolio, such as Microsoft, sitting at around 8.3%. We also have Texas Instruments at around 3.3%. We have Vici at around 3% as well. And then over here, you can see Waste Management around 2.8%. And for the most part, everything is fairly well diversified. We can also see Lowe's coming in at around 3.4%. If we scroll down even further, we can see my stock allocation by industry. I think this is very important to understand if you're tracking your dividend portfolio. Now, 50% of my portfolio is into SCHD, and I just have that listed as an ETF right now. In the future, at some point, I'll probably break that down a little bit more to be more specific. But other than that, we can see technology makes up around 16.3% of my portfolio. We have financials at around 8.3%, consumer cyclical around 7.9%, real estate 6.1%, and consumer defensive coming in at 5.1%. Then a couple of smaller positions such as industrials at 3.8%, healthcare at 2.3%, then a small position in energy at 0.6%. Now let's go ahead and jump over to what everyone wants to see, and that is my dividend dashboard. So in the month of January, if we go ahead and zoom in and scroll down, you can see I made $206.96 in dividend income. And if I blow up this chart a little bit, you can easily start to see a steady trend upward. And in fact, last month was my highest month of dividend income ever at $934.25. That was an absolutely massive month. And again, you can kind of see a trend of having one high month followed by a couple of lower months a high month, a couple of lower months, and again, last month my highest month. This month coming in at around $206. I expect next month to be around the same, but maybe a little bit higher, but the month after that will be by far my highest month of dividend income ever. I'm expecting it to potentially be over $1,000. And again, this chart really shows the snowball effect is starting to take place. When you start out dividend growth investing, the process can feel very slow starting out, but out of nowhere, that dividend snowball really starts to take off. Let's go ahead and shrink this chart and go back up here to the top, and we can see some key dividend dashboard metrics. My expected yearly dividend income is now sitting at $4,956. Now, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know it was previously a little over $5,000, but because I recently sold out of some higher yielding positions and reallocated that capital into Louis Vuitton, my current yield on my portfolio is a little bit lower. Now, the beautiful thing about this is I believe this will provide me with more dividend income long term, because those high yielding dividend stocks wouldn't be growing their dividends, but Louis Vuitton will do a great job of growing those dividend payouts moving forward, even though they have a low starting dividend yield of 1.64%. So again, short term it feels like I'm making less dividend income, but long term this will provide more dividend income. We can see my average monthly dividends now sitting at $413 every single month, and here's what's really beautiful about that. Even if I didn't contribute any new capital to my portfolio, my dividend income could still grow two ways. On average, I would still have $413 being reinvested right back into my portfolio. And also because I hold quality dividend growth stocks, the holdings in my portfolio will increase their dividend payouts every single year. So again, my portfolio is almost on autopilot at this point. Lastly, we can see my portfolio dividend yield on cost sitting at about 3.71% and my all-time dividend income close to $5,500. Here we can see my portfolio value over time, again, steadily trending upwards, something I love to see. And if we scroll down here, we can see my projected annual dividend income. Again, clearly it is headed in the right direction. We had a slight decrease this month, but again, that's not because of a dividend cut or anything like that. That's simply because I reallocated some capital. If we scroll up, we can actually look at what I think is one of the most important charts on this dashboard, and that is my dividend income by industry. And this is something a lot of dividend investors fail to track, but it's important you know where your dividend income is coming from, because if it's all coming from one single industry, a lot of that dividend income could potentially be at risk if something happened to that industry. So for example, ETFs provide around 54% of my dividend income, and we can see real estate, for example, provides 10% of my dividend income. But although it provides 10% of my dividend income, we can see it only makes up around 6.1% of my dividend portfolio. So there are some differences there that you have to understand. We can see consumer defensive makes up around 9.4% of my dividend income, technology around 7.7%, and also financials at 8.1%. Now, if we zoom out, one of the next charts I want to look at is my dividend income by each individual stock. I'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit more so that you can see better, but SCHD clearly provides the vast majority of my dividend income, and they're currently paying me a little over $2,686 every single year, and those dividends are growing, keep that in mind. We can also see MO is a big dividend payer for me, currently paying me around $326. We have Realty Income paying me around $286, Vici Properties around $240, but for the most part, these dividend payments are fairly well diversified. Now, the last chart I want to show you is my dividend yield on cost. Now, keep in mind, this is yield on cost, and I'll show you what I mean by this. For example, if we look at my dividend yield on cost on stock ticker AVGO Broadcom, it's sitting at 4.04%. But if we jump over to Seeking Alpha and look at Broadcom, one of the things you'll notice is the starting yield is sitting at 1.78% right here. So why is my dividend yield on cost for Broadcom so much higher than its current starting dividend yield? And there's currently a couple of reasons. One, I was able to buy in at a great price. If you can buy a stock at a great price, you can get a higher starting dividend yield, but also if the companies that you own increase their dividend payouts over time, you can get a higher dividend yield on cost. So again, important to buy at a good value and also make sure they are increasing their dividend payments over time. Next, let's go ahead and look at my dividend calendar. But first, I'd like to say a quick thank you to our sponsor, Seeking Alpha, which is my favorite stock investment research platform. For example, we can see we're currently looking at Vici Properties, and it gives us a lot of great insights into some key metrics right here, such as the 52-week range, the day range, and lots of other important metrics such as forward-looking funds from operation, dividend payout, and the current dividend yield. But as a dividend investor, I want even more dividend investing insight. So if we click on the dividend tab here, we can look at the company's dividend history and see those dividend payments over time. We can easily look at how safe those dividend payments are by looking at things like the AFFO payout ratio. Since Vici is a real estate investment trust, we can see the dividend growth over time, something extremely important to me since I invest in quality companies that increase dividend payouts. We can also see how the dividend yield has changed over time, and Seeking Alpha even gives us a dividend scorecard, breaking it down in one easy to look at dividend summary. We have easy access to all the key financial statements, something I look at pretty frequently, and we can also compare them to other companies and metrics such as the S&P 500 over different periods of time. We can easily put them up against their peers and see how they perform against their peers. And something else that is really cool is you can also get analysis from Seeking Alpha analysts. And I'm also happy to say that I am now a Seeking Alpha analyst. So for example, you can see right here, I recently wrote an in-depth breakdown of Vici Properties and why it's one of my favorite real estate investment trusts moving forward in 2024. So if you want to check out my article and get access to Seeking Alpha Premium, then you can head to my link in the description where you can get a 7-day free trial and a $50 coupon. Okay, now moving forward, we are currently looking at my dividend calendar. Now, using a dividend calendar is something every single dividend investor should be doing. It allows you to see how much each position in your portfolio is paying out in dividends and how much you've made in dividends every single month, but most importantly, you can see your dividend growth over time. So for example, if I go ahead and zoom in quite a bit, we can see my payments from realty income right here. All time I've made $321 from them, but those dividend payments are increasing every single month. Just look at how these dividend payments increase because I reinvest dividends, they grow their dividend payments, and I add new capital. So for example, if we zoom all the way now to this month, I started at $5 a few years ago, but they're now paying me over $25 every single month. If we come over here, we can see exactly how much these companies paid me in January. For example, Altria Group, stock ticker MO, has paid me $363 all time, and this month they paid me over $85. Realty Income paid me $25.30. Vici Properties a little over $60. Scroll down a little bit more, we can see JP Morgan at $10.87, Jeppy at $10.57. Scroll down, and my last dividend payment was a small one from Cisco at $1.61. Now the next thing we'll look at is my daily dividend calendar. Again, I think this is another important way dividend investors should be tracking their dividend income. For example, if I scroll down, we can see my 2023 daily dividend calendar. This tells me exactly how much I made in dividends in 2023, what my highest day was, and it was $730. It's a pretty massive day. That's pretty exciting. But overall, this calendar shows me exactly how much I made in dividend income on each day of the year. Now, January just started, so my 2024 daily dividend calendar is looking a little bare, but again, my highest day so far this year was $85.33. That was my payout from Altria Group. So if we go ahead and zoom in, we can see on the 3rd, I got paid around $10.57. On the 4th, over $60. The 10th was my highest day so far this year at $85.33. 11th was a good day at $13.12, and the 12th, $25.30. And then I got paid $1.61 on the 24th, and on the 31st, $10.87. So it wasn't my highest month of dividend income, but this is a great way to track my dividend income over time. So like I mentioned earlier, and I've mentioned so often before on this channel, the end goal of my portfolio is to one day be able to live off dividends. So one of the things I love to do is to project what my future portfolio will look like. And that's something I have listed here on my investment dashboard, but let's go ahead and break it out into more detail. Now, the first thing we need to look at is my monthly cost of living. Now, keep in mind, inflation compounds over time just like any other investment. So if your cost of living right now is around $4,000 a month and inflation averages around 2%, in 30 years, your cost of living would be closer to around $7,245. So to be able to live off dividends, you need to get your average monthly dividend payments above this black line and to stay above this black line. So again, that's why it's so important to invest into dividend growth stocks that increase their payouts faster than the rate of inflation. But if we jump over to my portfolio projection tab, I'll go ahead and zoom in and show you some of my assumptions. For example, my starting portfolio size is around $155,000. My aim is to average contributions of around $2,500 every single month. And again, you can switch this between monthly and lump sum if you want to play around with the numbers when you download the spreadsheet. But again, my average starting yield for this portfolio is sitting at around 3.5%, and I'm projecting a dividend growth rate of 7% and a price growth rate of around 7%. Now, I do think it's possible I achieve higher growth rates than 7% and dividend growth rates of 7%. For example, over the past decade, SCHC was around 11% price growth rate and a 12% dividend growth rate, but I do want to be somewhat conservative with my projections. But once I projected this out, if we jump over to my Live Off Dividends Analysis tab, I'll zoom out. This chart is telling me exactly how long it will take to live off dividends. This black line is my monthly cost of living and the red line is my monthly dividend payments. So the point at which my red line passes the black line is the point at which I can live off my dividend payments indefinitely because the dividend growth rate of my portfolio is higher than the rate of inflation. So let's go ahead and figure out exactly what point that is and how far away I am from living off dividends. We can see right here we have my Can You Live Off Dividends tab. We're looking for when my monthly dividend surpasses my monthly cost of living. So if we start scrolling down, we can see after 5 years I'm still not there. After 10 years, I'm still not there. But after a little over 15 years, it looks like living off of dividends could be my reality because my monthly dividend payments on average would be higher than my monthly cost of living, meaning at that point I could live off dividends. And at that point, my account value could be over $1.8 million. And this would all come from total contributions of around $617,000. So let's go ahead and look at this from kind of a dashboard perspective. 5 years from now, if I reinvest all my dividends, my yearly dividend payments could be around $15,904. 15 years, my yearly dividends could be over $62,000. And 30 years from now, this is where things get crazy. Assuming those same assumptions I showed you just a second ago, I could be making around $330,000 every single year in dividend income with a portfolio value of over $9.45 million. Now, things change pretty dramatically if I don't reinvest any dividends during that time period. I can toggle and show you if I don't reinvest dividends. 30 years from now, my yearly dividends would drop all the way to $144,000, which is still pretty phenomenal, but it's quite a bit lower than if I did reinvest dividends during that time period. My portfolio value would also be more than slashed in half if I don't reinvest dividends during that time period. So again, obviously reinvesting your dividends is extremely important to build a portfolio that is a compounding machine. So there you go. That's exactly how much I made in dividend income in the month.
I often mention how well the ETFs SCHD and VGT complement one another. But guys, this isn't just cool in theory because of the lack of fund overlap with these ETFs and the balancing system of having a growth and a dividend specialist. A mix of 50% VGT and 50% SCHD has outperformed the market, the S&P 500, for each of the last 10 years. Now take note, I didn't say over the last 10 years, for every single year, 8 being up and 2 being down over the last 10 years. This 50-50 mix has outperformed VU, the market. But you've probably heard things like over 90% of actively managed funds or professional stock pickers fall short of the market's returns over any long stretch of time, like 10 or more years. And you've heard correctly. In fact, it's closer to the upper 90th percentile if you also include all the funds that have fallen out and ceased to exist during the testing period. And there's good reason that one of the greatest investors of all time, Warren Buffett, believes that over 99% of us normal people should invest the vast majority of our money into a low-cost S&P 500 fund. In this video, I'm going to explain why I do not heed Mr. Buffett's advice on this particular topic, and how I have managed to outperform the market every single year since I started investing. And I would love to say I'm a brainiac, but I'm gonna reveal the real secrets of how I've done so on autopilot without making any decisions. We'll also look at how beating the market by just a couple percentage points each year compounds into some massive wealth over time. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name's Jeff Teeples, and here we aim to grow your wealth with simple, time-tested solutions. If you enjoy videos like this, please smash that like button, subscribe, and tell a friend. And most importantly for this one, drop me a comment down below with your favorite ETF combo. Let's grow. The market. Let's start with the competition, the market. It's incredibly hard to outperform the S&P 500 consistently over a number of years. The S&P 500 consists of 500 of the largest companies in the United States. And if you take those 500 companies, they make up about 86% of the entire US stock market. When you buy a low-cost S&P 500 ETF like VOO, VOO, you own a little slice of the 500 largest companies in the United States. VOO has a razor-thin expense ratio of 0.03% or 3 basis points. And this means that you pay only $3 for every $10,000 that you have invested in VOO to have it automatically managed. And you might be thinking, well, why buy all 500 of the largest companies when I can just pick and choose the top, 20 or 30 companies out of the index and buy them individually? I'll say this is exactly what I thought when I got into investing. But it's difficult to do because business is constantly evolving. About 20 companies are dropped entirely from the S&P 500 each year. This means that the company either went bankrupt or just underperformed the new up-and-comers that joined the index. But holding VOO is kind of like a cheat code. It'll automatically update the 500 companies for you in real time. You don't need to worry about keeping your market knowledge up to date. And as an extra bonus here, you'll outperform well over 90% of the financial advisors or Wall Street sharks that are hand-picking the companies and potentially getting duds. Or worse yet, the ones that are hand-picking them for you and charging fees in addition to that. I knew there had to be a way to systematically outperform the S&P 500 with other passive solutions that prioritize quality over just grabbing all 500 based on the market cap. And I was right. VGT plus SCHD equals magic. VGT is my favorite ETF, and it's up well over 500% over the last decade. VOO is up just over 200% during that period. It seems like a great idea to just throw everything at VGT and get rich, right? That is tempting, and it could very well be right. But the last 10 years has been quite the bull run overall. What happens when the next dot-com-like crash or something similar that affects technology in that manner hits us? This happened to a degree in 2022 when the total return of VGT was negative 30% for the year. VOO was only down about 18% in 2022, but I still outperformed the market. Let us not forget about the other half of the equation, SCHD. Its total return of about negative 3% in 2022 outperformed the market by a wide margin. And SCHD has never lost 6% or more in a single year in its entire history. VGT and SCHD have an extremely low weighted overlap of 7%. This means that they hold unique companies compared to one another. And believe it or not, most dividend ETFs are relatively heavy in tech and have anywhere from a 15 to 30% overlap with VGT. We'll dive into the specific roles and the numbers here in a minute, but I'll give you a high-level view of how this works. In a good market, VGT crushes VOO while SCHD slightly underperforms. In a bad market, VGT crashes harder than VOO while SCHD stabilizes the ship. When you add them together, the mix beats the market in both scenarios. Let's quickly cover the details of SCHD and VGT before diving into the 10-year backtest versus the market and how the performance difference will compound a portfolio to serious wealth. VGT details. Let's jump over to my screen to see why I love VGT so much. I pulled up VGT on Seeking Alpha, which I think is the best website for researching stocks and ETFs. And as you can see here, it's the Vanguard Information Technology ETF. It has $67 billion of assets under management, so it's a very mature and well-funded ETF. Its expense ratio is 0.10% or 10 basis points, which is very low compared to its peers, other growth ETFs. And here under the fund profile, the thing that's important in this summary section is that VGT is passively managed. It seeks to track the performance of a specific index by using full replication technique. So nobody is making gut decisions on what to buy and sell with VGT. And it also holds a collection of small, medium, and large sized technology companies, which I like that variety. You can see here in the holdings breakdown that it's 100% technology. Its top 10 holdings are very heavily weighted towards Apple and Microsoft at about 43% total between those two. And the top 10 holdings make up 61% of the fund. It does have 318 companies, which gives it a little diversity within the technology sector. So clearly VGT's purpose is not to provide solid dividends as a growth ETF, but I am a dividend guy. And I gotta point out that while it has a very low 0.66% dividend yield, its 5-year growth rate is approaching 8%, which is not too too shabby. It does tend to grow its dividends. Now we are talking about our growth ETF, so let's get to the point, the charting. And I have this set to total returns, and I looked at all of 2023. VGT had a total return of 54% last year, while VU, the market, was at 27. So it was a great year for technology. If you look at the last 3 years, VGT has a slight lead at 39 to 33% over the market. Over the last 5 years, we jump up to 204% versus 110, so it's looking pretty good there. And over the last 10 years, VGT is up 491. This recently dropped below 500 with a couple rough days to start 2024. And the market has also dropped, but it's still at 209%. SCHD details. It's time to take a look at what makes SCHD the ultimate stabilizer. I've pulled up SCHD on Seeking Alpha, the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF, and it's been booming over the last couple years. It now has over $52 billion of assets under management, and it has a razor-thin expense ratio of 0.06%, or 6 basis points. My absolute favorite thing about SCHD is its methodology for selecting the stocks within the index. As you can see here, it seeks to track the performance of the Dow Jones US Dividend 100 Index by using full replication technique. When you dive deeper into the methodology, it will only select companies that have a minimum of 10 consecutive years of paying dividends, and this immediately eliminates over 90% of US companies from the initial screener. And then it looks for float-adjusted market capitalization